locally owned Good Karma brand station. Ben Brust and Brad Nortman.
It is a great day to be alive on this Wednesday. Kyle, Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside me is Packer backer Kyle Wallace. Say something, Kyle.
Oh, it feels good to be alive today on this Wednesday. Your boy feels good. Had a good previous show. Gonna give you some
you
water.
ate some food and had a good previous show.
Yeah, we about to knock out about to be Barry Bonds today, baby. About to knock it all out the park. Get ready, KBN Nation. It's gonna be a wild, wonderful 3 hours.
To my left, longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up is Bradley Nortman.
Oh, it
Did
is.
you eat too?
Well, it is a great day to be alive. That's all I got. Kyle thinks it's a great day to be alive. Ben thinks it's a good day.
Just reminding everybody daily.
Strove thinks it's a good day to be alive.
I wouldn't say it's a good day to be alive. I'd say it's a great day to be alive on this Wednesday here on KBN.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's Alex Strove, hot off of Mr. Irrelevant on YouTube. And good to know that the content that they are creating is just wonderful. As I opened up the web browser here, and I got the Green Bay Phoenix record and where they're at in the Horizon League. So Strove making sure everyone's updated on his best friend Doug Gottlieb and what they're doing.
No, I was actually just curious.
Of course you are. 800-990-3776. That's the Carbless Talking text line. That's 800-990-ESPN. We're on YouTube, as always, so you can see our beautiful faces at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here hoping and praying that there is news out of 1265. Some type of news. Somebody's agent say something. Somebody in the Packers say something to somebody to get it out there. Like, let's move the ball forward. What's going on? Did you offer an extension? What's the money at? Are you negotiating? Are you firing him? Like, what's the deal? Like, that's what everyone needs to know. Fans don't necessarily need to know, but I think fans need to know because they want to see what the franchise is looking to do. What's their direction? What's your plan?
The silence is deafening. It really is out of 1265. And usually at this point, you'd have somebody like Adam Schefter or Rob Demovsky or some sort of insider say, you know what? They're talking. Things are moving in the right direction. The fact that we've heard nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing out of the Green Bay Packers or Matt LaFleur in his camp, it leaves me scratching my head. And the reality is there's got to be a sense of urgency because nobody believes they're just going to run it back completely, right? They're either.
How does Rich Bisaccia still have a job?
I mean, that's what's crazy. So, and if they do run it back completely, there is an organizational failure, and that says even more about Ed policy than any other move. So, time is of the essence. If you're going to keep Matt LaFleur, there's going to be some coordinator and coaching changes. Those guys are already being scooped up and sort of positioning themselves for other opportunities at this time of year. Special teams coach in the same way. Or if you're going to move on, all these other head coaches are already having interviews. So by this time tomorrow, by 2 o'clock on Thursday, January 15th, if there hasn't been a declarative statement out of the Green Bay Packer organization, I'll be officially concerned.
Maybe you guys are just being a little bit too dramatic here. Look at me, the dramatic guy telling everybody else to simmer down.
The guy
and calm
who's
down.
dramatic is telling us to be zen.
Who would have known I would have been the reasonable guy in 2026? Who would have known that?
What's there to be?
It seems like a resolution because you've been really weird since Packers-Bears game.
No, it just seems to me that it's an organization and a team that understand that they're staying together. There is no rush when it comes to figuring out what the extension is. When you know that both sides want to come and stay together, then it's just like, all right, we'll figure out these numbers and we can still do business as normal. They'll take care of this contract. They'll get it done. Rich Bisaccia will be fired. Luke Buckus will be fired. Stinovich may be demoted and maybe put back down to being an offensive line coach and bring in somebody else.
Great offensive line coach. Bad at the podium as a offensive coordinator because that's really all we know about him is when he runs his mouth in press conferences.
And so
Crazy.
all the pieces of the puzzle will come together. Negotiations, there's a lot of things you go back and forth with. Just because we have a sense of urgency as a fan base, as a media, to want to know what the resolution is and want to know what's happening behind closed doors, doesn't mean that they don't already know what the ultimate fate is going to be moving forward. That he's
Doesn't
going
mean
to
you know either. Stop trying to act like you're in 1265 right now.
Listen, I am far from 1265. I am Kyle Wallace, part of KBN, and you know who the B is? Brust. And they don't like Brust at 1265. That means they don't like Nortman. They don't like Wallace. And so at the end of the day, I do feel confident that the Packers are working on something and that everything is going to be A-OK. I'm not in a rush for anything. When they
why is it taking this long? If two people want to be together, what's taking so long?
Dude, they have to do as I believe somebody either with Mark Tauscher or with Brian Balaga, who joined us and said
the process.
There's exit interviews, or maybe it's Jason Wilde. They got to go through exit interviews. There's a lot of other things that need to happen. And if you're not in any rush, if you know that there is an agreement where, we're going to work this out, we're going to have an extension, okay, well, just keep being the coach. Keep being the coach. You focus on doing the exit interviews with the players. You focus on talking to your coaches. You focus on doing everything that we have to do, and eventually your agent and you and all of us will come together and we'll get something figured out. If they get it done now versus get it done next week, it'll still be okay, because obviously if there was a sense of urgency where Ed Policy was feeling he was going to move on from Matt LaFleur, then I think he would probably be like, the deadline is this day. This is what we're going to do.
I hear you on the floor, but I brought up Bisaccia on purpose, and I'm glad somebody chimed in on YouTube here. Bill, why did Philly and the Chargers fire their offensive coordinators, and Bisaccia is still on staff? Like, that is Matt LaFleur's decision. I don't care about exit interviews. Like, it's about sending a message to the fans that care about the Green Bay Packers to let them know that what was, from a special team standpoint, last year and this year unacceptable. Because, again, we've all talked about how it's 1 year too late, and we're still sitting here. And I think just some sort of message from LaFleur would also go well in his conversations of an extension, just like, hey, this wasn't good enough from a standard that I had, because holding on to him only makes him look worse in a negotiation. Why is he still a part of the building? Yeah,
I mean, usually those firings take place very quickly. Like you do see out of Philly, usually within the early part of the first week, that's when those happen. So I think the biggest thing is, out of the Green Bay Packer organization, I think us in the media and the fans, we just want to know things aren't just going to stay status quo, right? Like, what is going to change to actually change the Packers' end-of-season results? Because it's been the same thing year after year. Matt LaFleur holds on to coaches probably a year too long. We saw it with Joe Barry. We see it with Rich Bisaccia. And honestly, too, Jeff Hafley is a favorite to be the Miami Dolphins head coach. So you're going to have to upheaval there. So I don't know why Matt LaFleur is hesitating to make a statement of his own to get ahead of it, even if he knows that he's going to be back. There's really something to be said about a message being delivered, because the concern is we just can't have status quo. We can't have same old, because same old will result in the same old result. 7th seed, early playoff exit. What are we actually going to do to make things different?
Well, maybe that's part of the conversation as well, where they're talking about, are we going to get more money for staff? What do we think about moving forward? Maybe that's all part of the conversation in the negotiation as well. I just think that,
I don't know, a lot of these presidents and leaders and owners already have ideas of what they want to do even before the end result even happens of the playoffs.
Policy has known this the entire season. Yeah, he has known this conversation.
So now they're just taking their time and bringing out coffee and tea and figuring out together with their feet up.
If there is no resolution by Friday and we go into the next week and we get to Monday and there's still no resolution, then I'll be like, okay, what is happening? But right now I feel like this is the week where you have time to figure things out. You'll figure out that you're going to fire Rich Bisaccia. You'll find a replacement. Like there's no real rush right now unless you're going to fire your head coach. And I don't believe that is the thing that is going to take place here in Green Bay. Matt LaFleur will be back. He will be under contract and some heads will roll.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one feeling this. On the Carbless talk and text line 800-990-3776, Tyler in Bayview chimes in. Kyle is really calm, but also panic rambling. I feel a flip-flop coming. I think he's just pointing out the weird energy that you've had since the Packers lost to the Bears. You've just been holding the water for LaFleur. You're so excited for him to bring, his mind back and his time management back and his timeout situational things back and holding on to Bisaccia. Oh, it's all good. Like, there's no urgency from Kyle Wallace right now. No. There is just sit back, relax, and everything's great. We just went 3 straight 7 seeds, but this is great. I'm Kyle Wallace. I'm calm. It's my new me.
No, I mean, the season's over. I mean, there's nothing the Packers can do from now until the end of our show and now to Friday that's really going to be earth-shattering other than firing Matt LaFleur. So at this point now, it's not like the hottest defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator is going to be gone. No, there's 9 head coaching positions that are open. And once those get filled, because all the hot coordinators, they're going to figure out if they're going to be one of the coaches to fill those voids. Now, once those get filled, then they start building their staff. So the Packers have time. There's just no rush. The Packers literally lost a game 4 or 5 days ago. Like, they don't play another game until September, or I guess technically August of this year. Like, what did you say that is really important for you when it comes to change if it's not Matt LaFleur? It's the people around Matt LaFleur.
Oh,
100%. I think the people around
and
Matt
maybe
LaFleur
if you make those changes, which Matt LaFleur can do outside of his extension that they're working on, then you can start the process of bringing people in for interviews.
Who you bringing in? Oh, listen.
The longer you wait, the less options there are. You want to start the process. You can start building culture right away, which we know is most important. We talked about the culture over and over and over again. So if it's a culture thing, an accountability thing towards Matt LaFleur, do things and show what you're putting into action to make people feel like there's a plan, because right now everyone's just sitting in limbo.
Well, there is a game of musical chairs being had, right? Not only with head coaches, but also coordinators, assistant coaches. And you see how important it is with Jeff Hafley, even Campanelli, who was the linebackers coach for the Packers, and now the DC and Jags. Like, there's a musical chairs, and there's an arms race of sorts to get all the best young coaches. And if you're not doing that now, or if you aren't getting ahead of it, there's just a risk that you could fall behind.
Brad, all the best young coaches are probably still on one of the teams that are in the playoffs right now. The quarterback coaches, the linebacker coaches, whatever it is, those guys are still coaching currently right now, so you probably can't even talk to them yet. I'm just telling you this right now.
But that's not the whole pool.
I mean, it's not the whole. But do you want somebody from a 4-12 team or 4-13 team?
But here's the thing.
If it's a higher
Here's
position.
the thing. And as another domino that has to fall is there's the best odds right now, which should change, obviously, because these are very fluid, is Hafley being connected to different teams and interviewing for different jobs. If he goes, then a Campanelli, who's taken a job as a defensive coordinator, if that's someone who you're interested in, he's gone. So there is...
He ain't leaving. He's staying in Jacksonville.
Again, but he's becoming... the defensive coordinator.
No, he's already the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He has a chance to be a head coach for the Dolphins.
But there's a level of Jeff Hafley identified him, brought him into the Packers, was able to build his staff, knowing that he's a guy that has a bright future.
They hired Jeff Hafley 2 weeks after the season ended.
That doesn't mean it's a good idea.
But those
you want as much time as possible to pick the guys that you want, especially when you're in a position where if you're saying you want Matt LaFleur, then let's start bringing in guys to see who's going to help Matt LaFleur if that's your stance.
Because that's a statement in and of itself. We want Matt LaFleur. That's a statement by Ed Policy. We want Matt LaFleur. We got it done. He's our guy. So let's go and now look toward the future, start filling all these gaps, because there's going to be gaps.
Dude, there's going to be gaps, but there's 9 head coaching openings. So what that means is that a third of the league, dang near, is sitting here looking for coaches where they need to also build the staff as well. So you have time, because if a third, there's 8
You have gone full Packer back, or whatever Ed Policy and LaFleur are doing, you are on the payroll.
There are 8 playoff teams still playing, and then there's 9 teams looking for a coach. I'm not a mathematician, but that's 17 teams. That is over half the NFL right now that ain't looking for any type of assistant coaches right now, because either they're playing or looking for a head coach. We'll be okay, fellas. We'll be okay.
At what? Bringing LaFleur back and being a 7 seed again, and you're going to just be like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
We're not going to be the 7 seed next year. We got higher hopes, higher aspirations. It's going to be
higher hopes after year one, after you win a playoff game. And then you'll make your excuses.
Boom. And then Michael Parsons' knee went pow. And then also the patella tendon for Zach Tom went okay? That's what happened. That's where all our hopes went. Bad knees. Brad and I know about bad knees.
I know a thing or two about bad knees.
He overcame adversity.
Yeah.
And made it to the NFL.
Kyle will continue to be carrying water, not just for LaFleur, but for the Green Bay Packers. We'll try and figure out what they actually need to be doing to make a decision sometime sooner rather than later. But Adam Schefter called Matt LaFleur a top-5 coach. Is he a top-5 coach? You tell us, 800-990-3776. We hear from Shefty, from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
He's a good guy.
I couldn't believe y'all lost to TCU.
Yeah, you and me both. Rough.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
New year, new ride. Start 2026 in style at Cunis. Bring in the savings with amazing offers on all cars, trucks, and SUVs at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis dealerships in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and Oak Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. Trade in the old and drive into the new with huge incentives and rebates on all new in-stock cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick. Better tech, better safety, better payments. Plus, we have pre-owned payments for every budget and over 2,500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from group-wide. And don't miss this month's service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Scott Kunis, COO of Kunis Auto Group. We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials. And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive no-fear lifetime powertrain warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases. Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
New year, new ride. Start your search online at shopkunis.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Well, the rumor mill surrounding the future of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur continues to swirl. Star edge rusher Micah Parsons, meeting with the media at locker cleanout on Monday, had quite the endorsement for the Packers head coach who just finished year number 7 in Titletown.
When I agreed to come here, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and, I love you, and, I think you're a great coach.
LaFleur is entering the final year of his contract in 2026, and new president and CEO Ed Policy said before the season he would like to avoid a lame duck year. I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
The shot clock's winding down, and Saturn Lounge scores at the buzzer. When your marketing needs a slam dunk, our team drives the lane with creative strategy, branding, websites, video storytelling, and marketing campaigns that win. We run the full court press in every engagement, pushing the pace, finding that open shot, and delivering the highlight reel results. Our Saturn Lounge team ensures that your marketing content and campaigns dominate like a champion. Don't settle for a turnover or a missed shot or a wasted possession. Let Saturn Lounge run your marketing game plan now. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. UKB Nation with your thoughts at 800-990-3776. Kyle being called out for blind fandom by JB and the V.
why is it blind fandom? Like, do we not see what Matt LaFleur has done for this team? I understand that some people might have, we want to win a Super Bowl. That's just reality for the team every year.
When you bring that up, I'm curious, and we'll hear from Adam Schefter here in a moment, if the same emotional reaction from Green Bay game night, Sunday Karma, KBN on Monday, there was a lot of, it would be a slap in the face to Packer fans if Matt LaFleur was the head coach this coming year. And the poll was, do you want Matt LaFleur back? It was 75-80% no. So as the week goes on, I'm curious if that shifted from prisoner of the moment, or if people still, after 7 years of seeing Matt LaFleur, still think that. With that, let's hear from Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy as to where Matt LaFleur is from a what he's thought of standpoint. Oh, sorry, Strofe. That's on me. You're on the phone. I think you have it.
I know people in Green Bay might argue with this idea, but I had somebody on the phone on Sunday morning, very, very respected, and they said to me they were befuddled as to what was going on in Green Bay, and they said Matt LaFleur is a top 5 coach in the NFL, top 5 head coach.
Top 5.
And I was like, top 5, wow. And they said, well, think about it. Like, you could say you might rather have Mike Vrabel, but Matt LaFleur is an offensive coach, and offensive coaches inherently have a little bit more value because that's the double whammy. Like, if you get a great coach that also can run the offense, now you're sitting pretty.
That was Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Mornings 94.5 ESPN. So, yeah. Top 5 head coach. I understand the play calling value that he does bring from a head coaching standpoint, but there are some defensive coaches out there that are in the playoffs as well right now, so you can take that for what it's worth. What do you think? Do you think he's a top 5 head coach in the NFL? Because that's high praise from a very, very, very respected individual per Adam Schefter.
Yeah, I mean, top 5 is just crazy. That's ludicrous. I don't know who he's talking to, but top 5 is absolutely insane. Now,
you're
top
a league
5
source guy too, though. You played in the league.
What's that?
You're a league source guy as well.
I'm a league source guy, and Matt LaFleur, I believe, is probably respected and well liked, and certainly you got to give credit for what he has done because he has done a lot. However, top 5 is crazy. Let me give you 5 people that are inarguably better coaches and considered in the top 5 before Matt LaFleur. Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid, Sean McVay, Sean Payton, Nick Sirianni. Like those guys have won Super Bowls, sustained success, and been able to at least, show that they're able to get it done and better than Matt LaFleur. And then you could put in this bag of other coaches that I would argue Matt LaFleur is probably somewhere in here, the 6 to 12, Dan Campbell, Mike Vrabel, Sean McDermott. I mean, those guys you could argue have had more success than Matt LaFleur, and they've had to do more because they've had to change programs. Campbell, Vrabel, McDermott, they didn't inherit success when it comes to the Bills, the Patriots, or the Lions. They inherited a mess. They not only had to turn it around, but have done just as much, if not more, than Matt LaFleur. So Matt LaFleur, he's probably somewhere in 6 to 12. Probably around the 9, 10, 11, which is exactly where the Packers end up on any given year. They're in the playoffs. They're not making deep runs. He's someone that you got to be very, very careful to move on from because there's not many guys that are ahead of him. But to say that he's a top 5 head coach and the Packers would be absolutely lost without him, I just don't think that is true. And that didn't even include John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin, who are currently out of jobs right now. So top 5. Come on, Shefty. Come on. Who you talking to?
Yeah,
sources, bro.
Who
sources.
Are you talking to?
But, I mean, the caveat that the source gave was the fact that they put a lot more value in the fact that he's an offensive mind. And when we talk about him being an offensive mind, that can't be denied. This offense consistently is a top 10 offense, top 15 this year overall, some slippage at the end. But with this team being top 10 in offense, you can't get mad about that. They score a lot of points typically with Matt LaFleur, which puts them in the top 10 typically as well. And then the way I look at it is I don't give more of a weighted towards because you're an offensive mind. Would I make him a top 5 coach in the NFL? No, he can't be a top 5 coach in the NFL because he doesn't have a Super Bowl to go along next to his name, and nor does he have, I would say, the level of success that you have seen from a Kyle Shanahan. He's definitely top 10, but he's not a top 5 coach. But
getting a top 10 coach is something that is extremely hard. Again, there are 9 NFL coaching openings right now. Would you all rather go into the cycle where you're always trying to figure out whether or not this guy is going to be the guy? Because remember, the Packers went from Mike Holmgren to Ray Rose to Mike Sherman, and Sherman and Rose did not have the level of success that the Packers had. Hell, they didn't come close to the level of success that Matt LaFleur has had as well. I understand the frustration in us not winning a championship. I understand the frustration of Aaron Rodgers not getting over the hump once again with Matt LaFleur as a coach. But we have to understand that in 2023, we hit the reset button. We are restarting. So right now, when you're judging Matt LaFleur, the judgment is, you can take the whole picture, but it should start again with Jordan Love as a starter. Through 3 years of Jordan Love being a starter, we should be good about where it's at, but we shouldn't be satisfied about where it's at. So we should feel good that this team still has an opportunity to compete during this championship window. Not a lot of teams can say they're in the championship window. I want to win a Super Bowl.
Feels complacent.
Now, I'm not complacent whatsoever. I feel
being
like
satisfied with what you had feel complacent.
I guess for me, when did it not become a reasonable excuse to say, yeah, this team wasn't going to win a Super Bowl when they lost 3 of their top players?
Again, you're taking one thing in 1 year and extrapolating a bigger point where you could take the fact that they were up 21-3 in that game, use more data points from how they lost games this year, use the fact that, fair or unfair, a lot of his success was predicated on having a Hall of Fame quarterback. Does he deserve credit for bringing Aaron Rodgers back up to a level which he had not played at? Absolutely. But you have to take into account that he had a Hall of Fame quarterback as part of his 2 NFC Championship appearances and a number 1 seed in which they blew with him as the head coach.
Look what he's doing with Jordan Love. Like, we got to give more credit to what he's doing with Jordan Love.
His record is 37-30-1, so it's slightly above 500 in the regular season, and he's a regular season head coach. And he's, 3-6 career in the playoffs, 1-3 with Jordan Love. So I get that it's hard to do. It's hard to pierce through. All these teams are really talented. But when it comes to Matt LaFleur, nobody was saying that this team is Super Bowl bound, especially after those injuries. It's a true observation. However, there was really no excuse for losing to the Bears, particularly the fashion in which you did. So you have to weigh that.
You did, I agree.
If the Packers would have beat the Bears and then gone to Seattle and lost, I don't think anybody would look around dissatisfied. You'd say, hey, given what they experienced on the injury front, they actually went on a little bit of a run. They got a playoff win, and they're able to move the chains forward, so to speak. But the fact that
those injuries should not have had an impact on the debacle that was the Bears game.
And the first half shows that you're talented enough and you can execute good enough to, dominate
get to that point, yeah.
So that's just where it's at, where it's like a top 5 head coach doesn't do that. Even a top 10, I would say he's in the top 10, but he's in the way back end of that top 10.
I just think you don't want to risk right now resetting after you already had to do a reset, and the reset seems to be going, I would say, it's not going the way that we want it to be because we're Packers fans. We want to win Super Bowls. But this team is going to be in the conversation again to compete for championships, and that matters to me. And Matt LaFleur put that team in that position to compete for championships. You lost your number 1 pass catcher. You lost your number 1 pass rusher. You lost your number 1 offensive lineman.
Here comes excuse Kyle. I think you've mentioned that 3 times in 27 minutes.
Because for some reason, y'all want to yell and scream, and I want to be rational.
Let me ask you something. Let's say Ed Policy is Monday. He's thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? We just lost to the Bears. What am I going to do? Are you saying that Ed Policy shouldn't have even kicked the tires, made a phone call, a 5-minute phone call to either Tomlin now or John Harbaugh?
No.
Are you saying that you're so satisfied that we're not even going to take a peek around the corner and see just maybe would they be interested?
No, I'm not taking a peek right now. I'm absolutely not taking a peek right now.
I would take a peek on elite guys.
Especially not John Harbaugh. I'm good on John Harbaugh. There's a little bit different.
Sounds like he's going to New York anyways. Pretty Ricky as spoke, Strofe boy.
Mike Tomlin, there's circumstances around being able to get Mike Tomlin. If Matt LaFleur told me he wanted to leave, then Mike Tomlin would be the first one on my list because I do believe he brings the discipline that this team definitely needs.
What Matt LaFleur doesn't give you.
It seems that they struggle a little bit with discipline, but hopefully we'll be able to see growth. I'm confident.
Hopefully we'll see growth. We've seen 7 years. Why are you hoping when you have evidence?
We saw growth from year 1 and 2023. We saw them win 9 games, and that was a shocking 9
I'm not talking about the growth in a win. I'm talking about discipline and what he, as the culture setter, can bring.
I recall.
And you're actually looking for the culture to change.
I recall more boneheaded penalties and being one of the most penalized teams. I don't believe the Packers, and I have to look it up. I don't believe the Packers are one of the most penalized teams like they were a couple years ago. That was a frustration that we had, and it seems like they cleaned it up. Now, did we have moments where we're like, this guy, get them together? Yes. But as a whole, as a team,
I don't think they're one of the most penalized teams like they were previous years.
I guess penalties.
Yeah,
is part of
I guess jumping on the pile for no reason.
That's a guy.
That's a guy who also was doing it throughout the year and then did it in the biggest game, which goes to your culture and coaching.
It's penalties plus game situation. How are you using timeouts? Are you taking delay of games? Are you just meeting the game situation with a level of discipline that comes up in penalties for sure, but it's also game situations that sometimes he does well in. Big time regular season games, yes, but just doesn't seem like in the big moment in the postseason he rises to the occasion. Discipline or not when it comes to penalties or game situation.
Again, I'd rather be with the devil I know than the devil I don't.
Kyle Mouse.
You can call me whatever
Kyle loves
you can call me whatever you
Mouse.
want, but I tell you this: when Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, and this Packers organization wins a championship, don't be mousing me. You can't celebrate with us.
I feel pretty confident.
You stay over there.
I feel pretty confident saying I don't think Matt LaFleur won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers.
The way you jumped on that bandwagon to beat them stupid-ass Bears.
The Bears. Who were they up 21-3? That Matt LaFleur is the reason why they lost.
You stay when I'm
it's fine. Keep carrying his water.
When me and Strofe is doing the Pack Arena next year, all excited about our Packers winning the Super Bowl.
Don't you thrust at me.
You stay over there. I'm going to be thrusting.
Don't you thrust at me.
One pack of two, pack of three, pack of arena.
Hey, Pack Arena.
All right, Strofe, you think they're going to win a Super Bowl next year with Matt LaFleur?
I think they've got a damn good shot, yeah.
That's my boy. My Packer backer is back.
Keep carrying water, boys.
I don't think that's carrying water. And I don't think you have a good explanation as to why it would be carrying water.
Why can we
they've
trust
gone
Matt
all
LaFleur
in.
in the playoffs?
Yes, he's 3-6. He's 1-3 with Love.
The minute the ball kicks off in the playoffs in the 2026 season, But
you're smarter than this. You're
Tell him, Stro. Tell him, Stro.
Wow, that was rich.
You're smart enough to know that if/when Matt LaFleur and the Packers agree to a contract extension, that there will be thoughts around that. It's not just going to be run it back in terms of a coaching staff.
So you're talking about give him a game manager, give him a disciplinarian coach around him.
Exactly. See, I told you were smarter than that.
What exactly is Matt LaFleur doing?
Calling plays.
He's doing that's all the things that head coach should be doing.
No. Again, you're smarter than this. You were on the right track, but now you're backtracking. You should have the understanding that Matt LaFleur is the CEO/offensive play caller. Yes? Agreed?
Yes.
Now, what they need around him is experienced assistant coaches, because I sent you guys an article today. It's astonishing how far down the list in the NFL in terms of actual experience on an NFL sidelines that their assistant.
That's on the coach.
I agree with you. But that's what needs to be changed, and that's why this is being dragged out, because I think they need to come to an understanding that Bisaccia needs to be gone. Stenovich likely
I feel like the Packers are keep doing things like a year too late. They're like, oh, now we need the discipline.
But
it burns you.
No, because this is clearly only year 2 of their all-in swing, right? When you trade for Micah Parsons, that's year 1 of your all-in swing. Things kind of crumbled, right? Tucker Kraft, Devontae Wyatt, Micah Parsons go out. There's still plenty of time under Jordan Love, under Matt LaFleur, to get to the Super Bowl and reach that ultimate goal, which I still think Matt LaFleur can accomplish, but he does need better help around him.
So you want to basically shift power away from Matt LaFleur?
That's not what I'm saying.
That's how it sounds.
No top 5 head coach would you want to shift
game
power
day
away
responsibilities, he needs more help than he's had.
What about culture? What about like a team
He
that
sets the culture.
He sets the culture?
He's the head coach.
And you feel good about the culture he sets?
I feel fine about it right now. Yeah,
I'm feeling fine.
We played Javon Bullard yesterday. Didn't seem to be any culture issues when we played that audio.
That's one player.
Javon Bullard.
Yeah.
But we did the same thing last year. We played Tucker Kraft at the end of the season. Oh, you guys were like, well, this
By the way, at the end of the season, after 3 straight 7 seeds.
Made the playoffs 3 years in a row. That's
awesome. Everyone now is telling me that they're just good with the playoffs with Matt LaFleur.
That's not true. But what we're saying
the
is
evidence would say yes, it is.
We like Listen, we like what we're seeing on the field. Again, I keep saying it because we have to understand it matters. I like what I was seeing when this team had won 4 games in a row and they went down to Denver and they were looking like a team that could win a Super Bowl. I believe that Matt LaFleur can get that team to that level, but more importantly, I think you are going to see a level of more consistency in the 2026 season from this team because of the growth that they're going to take, because of the growth of my quarterback, because Micah Parsons, by the time, because with the ACL injury, once you get to about 5 months, he's going to be jogging, he's going to be all right, he's going to be able to move around because he's going to have that presence around there. Because of the guy like Javon Bullard's going to be a third-year player, Evan Williams, Xavier McKinney. Like, you're going to have a lot of guys that are growing up together and starting to become mature adults and really good football players. The Packers have a really great opportunity to make a big splash next season. Yes, this season was disappointing. The way it ended was inexcusable, but it does not mean that we still don't have momentum going in the right direction.
Riley Moss, an Atlanta Falcon, and then Keyshawn Nixon, number 3rd in accepted penalties in 2025.
Number 3rd. Dummy.
Riley Moss, an Atlanta Falcon,
and number 3rd.
And number 3rd.
And with 11 this year, 10 last year. Really good with discipline and culture.
More
next. Nope, it's fine.
Loose cannon, but
that's
the team
fine.
Overall,
it's also on the coach to make sure that he doesn't do that, but he lets him do what he wants because he's the culture setter. He's the nice guy. He's the players coach that can't hold people accountable. Kyle carries more water for the Packers next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
DKB, they get all my love, all my energy, and all my time. I'll be danged if GKB and Craig not going to allow me to take my half-an-hour boo-boo. If I need to do that, they need to allow me to do that.
That's your whole lunch break.
I don't even take a lunch break. I work during lunch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Watch the Bucks for free with select games on broadcast TV all season long. WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on broadcast channel 49.1. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our next game is against Wemby and the Spurs. Thursday night at 6:30 on WMLW.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a 2-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
4 years, it's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to raise a toddler into a kindergartner, to train for something big and become someone new.
Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest for 4 years, so you can invest in your home and use your hard-earned savings for life's biggest moments. Offering Pella exclusive features like blinds between the glass and customizations to match every home style. We believe in providing our customers with the highest quality products and top-notch service at a price you can afford. Tested, safe, durable, and backed by a limited lifetime warranty, Pella's rated #1 for craftsmanship, innovation, and exceptional design.
So aim high and think long-term when setting your New Year's resolution. And imagine what you can accomplish in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella Windows and Doors Wisconsin. Start your journey today at PellaWI.com.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
People say buying a home in winter is tough, but fewer buyers often means less competition, and motivated sellers can create better opportunities. When the right home shows up, you need to be prepared with clear guidance and fast communication, even in the middle of a Wisconsin winter. I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and a people-first approach, providing a white glove experience at every price point. If you're thinking about buying a home, visit wendorfteam.kw.com and let's start your home journey the right way.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Still waiting on any news out of 1265 in Ed Policy, and Matt LaFleur likely having conversations about an extension, what Matt LaFleur will accept, because I feel like the longer this goes, the more likely it is that Matt LaFleur will be the coach. And so if he is the coach, what are those next steps to make sure that the Packers can get over this 7-seed, 1-3 playoff record hump under Jordan Love? Why are you looking at me like that, Kyle?
Because if he is the coach, you would be very upset then, right?
I would just be like, yeah, I already know what the season's getting up by the end of the next year.
Okay.
Might as well we don't have to do shows anymore.
So why play the game?
We don't have to do shows anymore. We already know the end result.
Ben Brust already knows what's going to happen. He's Ben Stradamus.
Ben Stradamus really nailed my Packers-Bears predictions, though.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, Strofe?
Jeff Hafley completed another interview?
Yeah, he's going to get a head coaching job.
Why are you huffing and puffing? Yeah, you knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
There's all these openings, and
I just don't want to accept it, you know?
The one real tone setter on the team and the coaching staff. Go.
Wild.
You are really down on LaFleur.
I'm not down on him.
He's just speaking what he's observed.
He's a great offensive mind. He deserves some credit for developing this offense in Love, for sure. But he's average at culture implementation, and he's a bad game manager.
You know what's crazy about y'all saying he's average at culture? It's crazy that a guy makes the playoffs and wins games. Like, yes, makes the playoffs almost every single year he's a head coach.
Hang on, you got to grab the water.
And also wins games during the regular season. I admit 3-6 in the playoffs is bad, but how is that bad culture? It's not exceptional culture, but bad culture is getting fired.
Every big game he does not come out on top on.
No.
If you add in the basically playoff game that they had in 2022 to beat the Lions, go into the playoffs at Lambeau,
home when they had nothing to play for.
3-7 and winner go home games.
I just think to say that it's bad culture is
he's been saved by the playoff expansion.
No, I said he's average. He's averaging culture. If he had to restart a culture that wasn't the Green Bay Packers, already very implemented and set culture, I think he'd struggle to do so.
I mean, I think you guys are extremely more harsh on him overall because
we're athletes. We like our coaches to hold us to a high standard.
Okay, sure. All the championships y'all won, just like Matt LaFleur.
Wow.
But my whole point
at least we got on the field in the court.
That's very true. I was doing a lot of clapping. I was like, all right, there, I see you, Jeff.
That's pretty good, Kyle.
Good job, Jeff Donovan. Good throw, buddy. But
Brad, just say, huh? I'm laughing at you in the bank account. I'm not. But I missed NIL.
But my whole point is this. This coach, Matt LaFleur, wouldn't be a guy that would be considered a top-5 coach, according to a league source. It wouldn't be a guy that, if he was available, that would instantly find a job if people didn't believe that he can build a quality, good culture. Again, I am not excusing the fact that this team didn't get it done in many instances with him being the head coach, but to say that is average culture, I disagree. He's not an average coach in the NFL, and his culture isn't average as well. He's a very good coach, but so far, he has not done enough for us to get to the point that we want to get to, which is a championship.
I just don't know how you can trust him with the game on the line. I stand by, if Ed Policy looks at the landscape and say, I cannot do better than Matt LaFleur, then you have to keep Matt LaFleur. You cannot fire him and figure it out later. With that being said, though, you have to accept who Matt LaFleur is and who he isn't. He's a great play caller. I think he's a well-liked coach. I think guys like playing for him. But he's no Tomlin. He's no Harbaugh. He's no Dan Campbell. He's not even like a Sean McVay or a Kyle Shanahan. All those guys when it comes to culture and dudes and toughness. Great offensive mind, average culture, and you cannot say he's a good in-game coach.
You're acting like you guys next season when the Green Bay Packers start off hot or whatever it is, that you won't be hopeful in talking about, is this a Super Bowl team? You're going to be excited. He's
is going to get you excited.
Don't tell me how I feel.
But no, I know how you're going to feel. The Blue Red Packers are going to be a good team again next year, and you're going to be talking about, wow, this team really has a chance to win a Super Bowl, and Matt LaFleur will be part of that. So at the end of the day,
ball is kicked in the wild card round, and they're on the road for the fourth straight year.
No lead is safe with Matt LaFleur.
Listen. I'm gonna be very honest, okay? I don't usually just point the blame on one person because in a team game, as we all know, everybody contributes to the loss. But that damn kicker and Brandon McManus got us here talking about this today.
It's a lazy argument.
No, and hell no.
It's a lazy argument.
It's not, you're a special teams guy. If he hits those kicks, if he makes the 55-yarder, or he makes the 44-yarder, or if he kicks the extra point, we're having a different conversation.
But we're not.
Get the first down.
That's what I'm saying.
And also, Matt LaFleur employed Rich Bisaccia, and they all were raving about him and how he was kicking in practice.
He choked.
He actually was not great with his injury and all of that. Like the whole thing is organizationally.
I don't talk to kickers. Remember he said that to the media? Matt LaFleur said,
maybe he should have talked to him. Should have had a better pulse on his team.
I see why he didn't talk to him, because he probably wanted to put his hand on his throat every time.
I don't talk to kickers, Stroke.
That was a joke, Brad. It was a joke.
Coaches love to just trot around special teams.
Really?
He should make that kick. I 100% agree with you. He should make those kicks.
You make the extra point. It's a 3-point game. You can go down there. Your team drives it down there, and it gives you another opportunity to tie the game.
They were first and 10 from the 21-yard line. It resulted in 4th and 15.
Listen, I get it with the delay of game penalty. I get it. There's a lot of things that are inexcusable, but I'm just saying, in that game specifically.
What are their biggest wins under Matt LaFleur the last 3 years?
I mean, a big one was Dallas. Another big win is when they went to Detroit on Thanksgiving back in 2023 and won as well.
Regular season?
Yeah. I mean, there's only
that's 2023.
I would say the playoff.
What about 2024?
The playoff win against the
Rams.
What
was the big win in 2024?
2024, there wasn't a lot of big wins.
What about this year?
This year, when you look at it, I think coming in opening season, regardless of what
they won 9 games.
The Lions record was being able to start the season.
Week 1 game when it didn't matter.
Okay, week 1 didn't matter, but we were saying the same thing before when we lost to the Eagles in week 1.
They blew 6 leads that would have had an opportunity for them to be at home.
And who was part of that? Lost to Brandon McManus. He's enemy number one.
Now he's going real lazy in the argument.
What do you mean lazy in the argument?
We
saw the statistics. We're going to act like we didn't see the stats about Brandon McManus and the role that he played in this team's downfall in this season, in the games that he lost. Let me go find this information.
You could argue that maybe he did.
Maybe. What do you mean, maybe?
You could maybe say
let the specialist talk.
Maybe Matt LaFleur has lost faith in Brandon McManus. Therefore, why put the game in his? I've seen this stat.
I want you to read it, Mr. Special Teams guy.
Yep. Against Cleveland, they lost by 3. Okay, I'm just going to sum it up quickly. In every loss, McManus had a missed field goal that was timely that led to the loss. And if he would have made those kicks, they would have won. However, you could also say, however,
let him go.
You could say that in most of these games, they had a lead with a 90+% chance to win. And all you got to do is get literally and figuratively get it over the end zone. But you can't do that. And maybe this should prove that you can't trust a kicker if he's struggling, and you should drive it into the end zone.
Right. Get rid of
not
kicking.
Rely on kicks.
Get rid of all kickers. Brad, you're a last of a dying breed. Get rid of them all.
I'm not saying that much, but
when are you guys going to start dogging on Goot again? It's an organizational thing. Goot's going to get it from Kyle, but Matt LaFleur is going to get the pass from Kyle. I'll have to dive deeper into the Carbless Talking text line because I'm trying to keep up here. A lot of thoughts on the situation in Green Bay. Of course, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. It's Kyle, Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. They have something to talk about that I don't know what is next. So stay tuned.
This is Kyle, Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I've seen some of those jersey checks.
You were a punter.
No, I haven't. I've seen them.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. On this show, it's always football season.
How can their roster building technique be a little more beneficial to them handling the highs and lows of games and of seasons?
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
I'm not saying we need a bunch of 11th year veterans, but I do think that there is an immaturity to how this team handles themselves.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
While the rumor mill surrounding the future of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur continues to swirl, star edge rusher Micah Parsons, meeting with the media at locker cleanout on Monday, had quite the endorsement for the Packers head coach who just finished year number 7 in Titletown.
When I agreed to come here, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and I love you, and I think you're a great coach.
LaFleur is entering the final year of his contract in 2026, and new president and CEO Ed Policy said before the season he would like to avoid a lame duck year.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's Stay and Float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Homer here for Window Nation. Winters can be brutal here in Milwaukee, and if you're cold in your home, even with the heat on, your old windows are a problem. Window Nation can help. Right now, during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows Free sale, you can get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. It's easy to get the right windows to fit your home and budget. The pros at Window Nation will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Right now, schedule a consult at windownation.com.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tuesday, January 20th, KBN will be in Madison on site at the UW Bookstore on State Street from 2 to 5 p.m. celebrating IKEA's brand new partnership with UW-Madison. IKEA is now closer than ever with their new pickup point inside University Bookstore. You can order online and pick up as soon as next day, and it's free for IKEA family members. Think about all those times if you're in the age of going to college or you're in college when you need those last-second things, or if you're a parent and you want to send a nice gift for your student to pick up at UW-Madison, well, you can do that at the new pickup point of the University Bookstore. And just become an IKEA family member, and it will include free Madison pickup. We'll be there Tuesday, January 20th, the UW Bookstore for IKEA. Can't wait to be there. I love being back in Madison. Big win yesterday. Big win. John Blackwell with us.
That was exciting.
Absolute dagger.
That's awesome.
It is Kyle Brust Nortman with you until 5 o'clock. I don't know what you guys want to talk about here, so this is when I just turn it to Strofe. I can see him getting his, excitement. sitting up on a seat.
What did I miss? I'm going to go get food, and now all of a sudden Strofe is excited about something?
Well, no, it was when you were on your other show. When Ben...
Great show, by the way. I do some really great shows.
Well, we had a great company call led by Ben Brust. He led the entire content sector of Good Karma Brands.
I'm laughing because I knew Strofe is setting this up, and I'm waiting for
We're talking about ESPN New York, ESPN Los Angeles, ESPN Chicago, ESPN West Palm, ESPN Cleveland, ESPN Madison, ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPN Milwaukee, 620 WCMJ, 107 The Truth. I said Chicago. What else am I missing? 95.3 WBEV in Beaver Dam. I mean, we're talking about 11 radio stations across the country. All of the digital content teammates, all of the podcast hosts are listening to one Ben Brust.
At the edge of their seats, might I add. The edge of their seats.
And Ben, frankly, you did a great job. I have nothing
you really did.
to pick apart about your performance, except, well, while you were also talking, what else were you doing?
I don't know.
You were sharing your computer screen.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
No. What were you?
I think I know what it is.
What happened?
And nothing,
is this the chat on the left?
It's exactly what that is.
What happened?
So he showed his ChatGPT at one point, and it said recent conversations, and one of them said this: goat versus beef meat.
Troubling.
Goat versus beef meat. What the hell does that mean?
Wait, what?
Ironically, so I went to Chicago with Greg Scalzo and his wife and my wife. We made a weekend out of it around Christmas time. We like to try and go, they have family in the area. We do. We drop our kids off and we do a night downtown. Content director of Good Karma Brands, headquartered in Chicago, Danny Zetterman, sent us to a restaurant, and I think it's like The Girl and the Goat, it's called. And I've never...
Restaurant.
You've been there?
I've been there, yeah. It's a well-known one.
Yes.
Very well known.
It was awesome. But I've never ate goat before. So I was trying to figure out, what goat was versus, a cow. Like what the taste of goat would be.
Hey, you ever had lamb before?
Do they sell goat?
Yeah, I ate some goat. Yeah, I ate some goat.
They eat goat in different countries, but it's probably like lamb.
I don't know. I've never had goat, so I was debating of going to my phone and just doing the web browser free ChatGPT, but I had the app ready that's connected to work, and I was like, I'm not supposed to do personal stuff on the work ChatGPT, so I just simply asked goat versus cow beef. What does it taste like? Will I like it? So I was just doing some research.
Remarkable. And
that's it. It was great.
Did you end up having goat?
Oh my God! It was actually it was awesome. It was like a goat empanada or something.
So how different?
Wait a minute, they got an expensive restaurant with goat empanadas.
This is going to be a dumb question.
It was an app.
What's the difference between goat and lamb? Because I've eaten lamb, obviously, on Euro.
I don't know the difference between a goat and a lamb.
A lamb is a goat because a lamb's a baby sheep.
Got it. And a goat is a goat.
I
Goat's
know.
a goat.
I can get my daughter.
I didn't know you eat goats, I guess.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that. And there's goat milk.
I told
goat
you.
milk's really popular.
I told you about the time in Africa my brother ate a goat and he passed out. Yeah, that goat had bacteria in it. We was in Africa, and that goat had gone from one village to another, and then it all of a sudden got cooked and was not good goat.
Is goat? Is it lighter meat?
I don't know. Thank God it was in something fried, but it was a delicious meat.
You never had gyros before?
Never had a gyro.
That's not goat. That's lamb.
I know.
That's
But
lamb.
I'm just saying they're
It's all
in the
part
same
of the
family.
sheep
I love
Nay
gyros.
and Ba family.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Bob.
Well, the reason why I do that is because my daughter, when I show her the sheep, she goes ba, and for goat it's na or ma.
For a goat,
Ma.
I don't know if it's goat.
I don't know. I'm not around.
Yeah, it's like a chilling laugh.
It's
like
crazy.
ghost snake.
Speaking of goats, it's crazy how they can stand on mountains like mountain
So,
goats. and just
so I guess I have another follow-up question.
Go ahead.
Why didn't you just Google this?
he's an AI guy.
I'm trying to utilize ChatGPT as part of a company initiative, and I took it too far.
This guy's an idiot.
So
he's making all these great content things. Now we're pivoting to goats and
right, and that's when I saw that. I saw there's multiple things this could be. Right, it could be like dog food. I don't know. It could be he was cooking lamb on accident. It could be he could have just Googled something. So you were just trying to figure out the particular differences between lamb
goat
meat and beef.
Because I'm a meat and potatoes guy, and I'm expanding my horizon, so I want to know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Well, you got to eat fish.
It was curiosity. This isn't as good a story as you probably thought it was going to be.
Well, I had no idea what the hell that meant, and you showed it to the entire company, so I wanted to ask.
It's an incredible title for a ChatGPT.
What was the title?
It was just goat versus beef meat.
I actually, from this conversation, I'm actually concerned about Ben and his dependence on AI. Ben is going to have AI as a therapist. You're going to be talking to AI for therapy in a while.
Oh, I do it. I do it.
Oh,
I already do that.
You do that?
If I am feeling down about something in particular, I will refer to AI for advice.
And you trust AI to lead your brain?
Not necessarily.
What do you mean, not necessarily?
Not in like rash decision making, but more so in reframing how I view a situation. Yeah.
So,
dude, ChatGPT has become the Gen Z therapist.
Oh,
yeah, it's good. I don't know. It doesn't give you the human interaction of an actual therapist, and I would still recommend seeing a therapist.
You can like tilt AI and like how you want it to be. So do you say, give me the positives?
Yes. Tell me if I'm viewing this incorrectly. Like this, obviously, I'm only
Every
giving you
day
one
I come into
perspective.
work and I hate it. Why should I like it?
You do? I'm sorry to hear that.
Figure that was your prompt.
No, I love my
job.
Y'all better be careful because there's people literally dating AI folks and marrying them.
I've seen those videos.
Relationships,
crazy.
Falling apart, getting mad, cussing out AI.
There's an old movie about that.
iRobot? I don't know.
Not iRobot.
Her.
Yeah,
Her.
great movie. I've actually seen that one.
You can literally say to AI, like, be more flirty, and it becomes more flirty. It's just crazy.
Would that be a misuse of company protocol if you flirted with the AI?
I would.
Probably.
How could you make it content worthy, though? Now, that's interesting. Because Ben's taken out stuff
are you saying
before.
I should create the first lady of KBN?
Yes.
That would be great.
Yes, let's create an AI character for the show.
You should prompt it by saying, like, I'm Alex Strofe.
Yep.
These are my features. This is my personality. Talk flirty to me. Like, what would be your?
I have a big
Kyle
nose.
would want it to be very zesty.
I'm underweight.
What would be the things you would say to me that would flatter me?
Strofe might.
I don't know if Strofe should do this.
Strofe, his girl goes out of town.
He falls fast, as we know. He might be asking his AI girl what if they want to do vows together.
Is it cheating if it's with an AI bot? That's what Strofe gonna try to figure out.
Should I ask her?
Oh,
Well, I should ask the AI and I should ask my girlfriend and see if we get different responses.
she's out of town. How often?
Like every 2 months.
So you would probably go to the
Every
AI
2
chat.
months? Oh no.
She gonna come home. Huh, what? Nothing.
Shuts the laptop.
Nothing. I
Clear
swear.
browser history.
I promise you. I wasn't talking about Arena.
Botterina. How does Goody and LaFleur and policy affect Jordan Love in his prime right now? I think this is an important conversation as we did get into, if LaFleur's back, who are the coordinators? Like, do you want change with Matt LaFleur during this time when you're in your second year, as everyone's saying, of the all-in year after you traded Micah Parsons? Let's dive in together on the effects that this conversation that they're having in 1265 will have on Jordan Love.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build your own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If your joint pain has been slowing you down, then listen up. There is a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on hold. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee offer regenerative treatments designed to help your body repair the areas causing pain. Knees, hips, shoulders, or back, wherever it hurts. Instead of an invasive operation that takes you out of commission for months, these treatments are done right in the office. You walk in, you walk out, and you get on with your day. No 3 to 6 months recovery. Picture this instead. You're moving better, you're feeling stronger, actually planning the year that you want because you finally took care of that pain the smart way. Game-changing regenerative treatment from QC Kinetics. January is your clean slate, so make it count. Call now for your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into the Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Chef Ed chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line. If Strove creates a AI girlfriend, if the AI girl knew about your athletic abilities, she wouldn't flirt with you.
I'm sure there's some loser AI bots that would date him.
You call my girlfriend a loser?
That's exactly right.
Your girlfriend.
She would think it's cute.
I'm pretty sure you just called my girlfriend a loser.
That's what I heard.
No, your girlfriend obviously is like, you guys remember the movie Shallow Hal?
Yeah.
She's like Shallow Mal, okay? Because what she sees when she looks at you is completely different than the rest of the world. He hasn't seen the movie Shallow Hal, so he doesn't get it. Remember in Shallow Hal, he had the big old panties. He was like, wow, where did this come from?
The guy was basically hypnotized to see the woman's inner beauty instead of her external beauty. And so
Kyle's calling you externally beautiful, but ugly as can be. That's what we just got to.
He's calling me externally ugly.
Yeah, but internally beautiful. Externally.
But I'm handsome.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right, we're all on the same page. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line as Ed Policy and Matt LaFleur could be sitting next to each other right now. Or their agents are there, and they're talking about how to get them back on whatever extension. I know there's people who say, let them play it out. I don't know if that is a scenario that works for everybody. I guess, Brad, I do want to bring that up real quick before we pivot Jordan Love into this conversation. To you, why does it not make sense for Ed Policy to say, just play it out?
Well, as much as even I would love that situation, be able to have a prove-it year for Matt LaFleur, the fact is Jeff Hafley's likely going to leave. You might need to make changes in your assistant coaches to actually improve your coaching staff. No coach in their right mind would join a team where the head coach only has 1 year left, completely on thin ice. When you're an assistant coach, you want to go to a place that has some level of consistency where there's some promise that I'm not just going to be there for 1 year. I'd like to be there for several years. The only way you can do that is if you hitch your wagon to a coach that has some level of contractual promise to be there for more than 1 year. Matt LaFleur would be completely gutted and cut at the knees doing any sort of hiring underneath him because nobody would join just a 1 year head coach.
So Jordan Love, obviously, he was signed to that $55 million a year annual contract. This will be year 3?
Is this year?
Oh, the contract?
Yeah.
No, this upcoming will be year 3.
Yes, this will be going into year 3 of that. You just made a huge investment with Micah Parsons, which is also part of this conversation as well. So when you look at the organization, you look what they're trying to do. For Jordan Love, is it something where, like, do you want to bring in somebody new from a head coaching standpoint? Because in the prime of this contract and where they're at with Micah Parsons, you don't want to. This is where the double-edged sword is here. You bring in a new head coach, you're learning a new system, you're building new culture. Does that slow down your team from getting where you want to be, or does it? Or are you willing to see how it goes in a year, knowing that you really believe in the person that you're bringing in, which goes back to if you're going to move on from Matt, you got to know who you have. Or with Matt LaFleur, then, are you just limiting Jordan Love because everyone thinks Matt LaFleur is not going to be able to take Jordan Love further than where he's been?
This is why it's such a tricky situation that Ed Policy has. We can agree that there's better head coaches out there than Matt LaFleur. However, we can also agree that Packers aren't winning a Super Bowl unless Jordan Love is like a legit MVP caliber type quarterback. The problem is, and you see it in Philadelphia right now, Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback, but he's going on his fifth OC.
He will be his fifth offensive coordinator since he's been in the league.
And you see what an offense last year that looks completely dominant. He was unbelievable in the playoff run. He was a Super Bowl MVP. You get a different offensive mind in there. This guy was a one-and-done offensive play caller for Philadelphia. And the offense looked broken, and they had an early exit. So this is my one concern. Well, there's many concerns with moving on from Matt LaFleur, but there's no doubt Matt LaFleur has cracked the code in quarterback developing, quarterback whispering. Could be Rodgers, Willis, or Love, particularly Love. He knows how to get the best out of Jordan Love. You need the best out of Jordan Love to make any sort of playoff run. So my fear would be you bring in somebody else. It's a new system, new play caller. You don't know Jordan Love, and that is a level of risk because you cannot have Jordan Love take a step back. He needs to maintain or take a step forward. So, and we know based on past studies, we've talked about this on KBM, quarterbacks win most of their Super Bowls between 27 and 31. Jordan Love's going to be 28 next year. He's got 3 to 4 years really in his prime window. Do you really want to upset that? That is the one thing with Matt LaFleur, that he has a lot of leverage and something that I'm not sure I want to know unless I know exactly who that offensive mind is going to be. And I've got confidence that Jordan Love is going to thrive under him.
Yeah, for me, I just don't look at this situation like we've reached a breaking point, right? I don't see that. We don't believe that guys don't believe in Jordan Love. The timing just doesn't seem right to move on from Jordan Love. To move on from Matt LaFleur. And you're absolutely right, Brad. When you're looking at that combination of Love and LaFleur, it's been a good combination. And what I love the most about it is the level of improvement that we have consistently seen from Jordan Love from year to year. And now going into his fourth year, I think we're all confident thinking that Jordan Love is going to be in the MVP conversation throughout the entire year, as he was for parts of this past season. And so I don't think now is time to rock the boat, ruffle feathers. I don't think there's just a moment where it's like, there's a little, headbutting. Because when you look at Baltimore, it seemed there was noise between, maybe Lamar Jackson won't be back. What are they going to do with John Harbaugh? It seemed maybe it's run its course. And you look in Pittsburgh, it's like, okay, they had now all these seasons where they haven't been able to get over the hump. Maybe it's run its course. I just don't feel the vibe, and I don't think the team in the locker room feels like they don't believe in Matt LaFleur yet. That's why I believe year 8, year 4, Jordan Love as a starter is going to be a big season, because it could be the point where if they have another dramatic, they get the 7th seed, they get put out again, then I think a lot of people will question, well, here we go again. This is the 4th season. I just feel like this isn't the time right now. And the level that Jordan Love has played at and where he's at in his development, we shouldn't be trying to shift anything or shake anything up. It seems like next year is going to be the year that they finally break.
The hard part for Matt LaFleur in this situation is, so he's back in 2026, whatever happens with coordinators or whatnot. You get Micah back 2-3 weeks into the season, hopefully on his timeline. Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, all the guys and all the pieces that I think there's a foundation to build on. Matt LaFleur is a 7 seed. Hard to get to the goal that he wants to get to. Matt LaFleur is a 2 seed or a 1 seed or a 3. I feel like no matter what scenario he is in, it doesn't matter, right? If he makes the playoffs again, if he's a 2 seed and then loses or doesn't get to the NFC Championship game, it's like, all right, well, now we've done it every which way. We've done the 7 seed, we've done the higher seed. So it's almost like if he doesn't get, we talked about this, I truly believe now, no matter what the seed is, if he doesn't get to an NFC Championship game, I don't know how you bring someone back with the history of how he's getting you to a certain place with the investment that you've made in those pieces, in Jordan Love, and Micah Parsons, and likely signing Tucker Kraft, and the Evan Williams Foundation, Xavier McKinney, all these different things. And we got to see what the draft is. We got to see how aggressive Goody is in free agency. They got to do all the things in the offseason, like getting rid of some money on the books that we know is going to go away. There's so much that is going to happen, but it all will still come down to, will Matt LaFleur win the big game? Well, and whatever big game that is, if it's the 7 seed, if he wins one, obviously that's not good enough. It's not going to matter. He's going to have to win another one.
No.
So no matter where he is, if he doesn't get to an NFC Championship game, he's cooked in Green Bay at least.
And I fully expect this team to be good enough to make the playoffs next year. Will they win the NFC North? Will it be wild card? I don't know, but you got Micah Parsons, you got Jordan Love. And the reality is they got a pretty good team, and Matt LaFleur's a pretty good coach, and pretty good coaches and pretty good teams make the playoffs. I can just imagine, though, fast-forwarding this time next year, no matter what seed they are, I don't care if they're the 1 seed or the 7 seed or anywhere in between, I just don't know how you can enter that game with any level of confidence that Matt LaFleur is going to have the game situation, have his guys ready after so many scars and so many speed bumps along the way. He just hasn't proven he can do it. To me, the trust is lost. He's going to have to earn it back, and you can only earn it back in those moments.
Did you lose when you played in Jacksonville? And Gus Bradley was the coach. You were only there for 1 year under Gus Bradley.
Yep.
But when you were going through that season, had you lost faith in Gus Bradley and said, "Oh, they shouldn't bring him back next year"?
It was his fourth year. I think we were won 3 games that year, so it was pretty bad.
A little different.
It's a little bit bad, and it's Jacksonville. You're trying to like scrape for identity and get things moving in the right direction. He could have worked under a different organization and a different team because we had a lot of young guys, a lot of immature guys, and he let us have a lot of freedom, and that freedom kind of became an issue.
It led to Brad going on a summer trip where he came back and he said even the punter's out of shape.
I was out of shape.
Tom Coughlin said that,
6 weeks in Europe. What's
Doug
that?
Doug Moreau.
Doug Moreau said that. Yeah, I didn't take the weigh-ins very seriously. I was like, I'll get back into shape. I'm all right. So
even the punter's out of shape this
was
offseason.
Tom Coughlin in the room when he said that or no?
Oh yeah, he was always in the room.
Did Tom look at you?
I sat up front, so I don't know exactly. But I did. They made each guy stand up. So, okay, to refresh what happened.
Yeah, let's retell this.
Pudgy!
All right, so first year in Jacksonville, Gus Bradley, great dude, but just not the coach for the team. He gets fired. In the offseason, pendulum swings way to the other side. Shad Khan, the owner, hires Doug Marrone, but basically Doug Marrone is sort of the right-hand man for Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin rules with an iron fist, and with an iron fist, he ruled. We had like all these games. We had ping pong. We had TVs. Whoop! All out of the locker room. all of the clocks in the building, got sped up to 5 minutes. So if it's 8 o'clock, it says 7:55 on the clock, and the expectation was you show up 5 minutes before that one hits, whatever. So if it's an 8 o'clock meeting, in real time, you are in your seat and the meeting starts at 7:50. Sort of weird. But the biggest thing was he wanted to set a tone early on. So we got these lengthy packets on expectations of weigh-ins, of body fat percentage.
You're still traumatized.
I can tell. I love this. Dude, I mean, he's got these details down to a T. He's had nightmares.
They all were looking like, what in the hell is this?
You just don't turn into a food freak like I am just because you coast along. You have to be scarred along the way.
Wait, hold on. I'm still hung up on the clock details. So it says 7:55 on the clock, but it's actually 8 o'clock, but the meeting actually started 5 minutes ago?
No. It says 7:55 on the clock, but it's really 7:50.
So 8 o'clock real time, okay, would be in the building. You'd see a clock that says 7:55, right? So it was already dialed 5 minutes early. Then the expectation is meetings start 5 minutes before the reported time in there. So really 7:55 on the team's clock
is 7:50 of real time.
Is 7:50 of real time.
If you don't get it now, just keep thinking about it. I want to get to the meat of the story
So
here.
anyway, we get these lengthy packets on what the expectations are when we return. This isn't just going to be same old OTAs. I mean, even now OTAs are like country club compared to, and we didn't even have it very hard. But everyone's just like, oh, yeah, we'll get back into shape when you get there. Lexi and I go on a lovely 6-week vacation in Europe, things you can do before kids. And I come back, and I enjoyed myself. I really did. And I come back, and I'm punting. I'm not really taking the weigh-in seriously. And, I had like... they can't fine you at this point because it's all optional. But I was, I think my weigh-in number was like 215, 216, something like that, like mid-teens. Because it was mostly like 212, like most of the season, kind of like 212 to 215. I think I weighed in at like 225.
Damn, boy.
And they did the body fat percentage where they like, with the
thing
claw,
that grabs.
the claw, they grab the fat, and then they do like this tube thing. And I was like... I don't know, whatever. I was like 20% body fat, and they wanted me to be like 15. And so we go through the very first meeting of like introducing to new coaches and new teammates and all the things. They make players stand up. You're going position by position. Like, this is what this guy weighed in at. This is what his body fat was. We get the specialist. It makes me stand up, and he goes, you can't swear on these airwaves, but he basically says, shoot, even the punter rolls in fat and overweight. That's what we're dealing with here. And I was like, geez. And so I went on you guys think I went on a disciplined diet, and I've never turned back. But I'll never forget that moment. Fat shamed against all my new teammates and new coaches, and that's a way to set it. You talk about building a culture. You build a culture of fear right there. Things will turn
healthy
around
fear,
quickly.
Brad. Healthy fear. Is that Iron Jock that you're wearing?
It is Iron Jock.
Yeah, I'm going to give away some Iron Jock gear right now, and it's a new year, and if you have new goals, you can still work on those and look really, really good. Because if you're here, you've made it past Quitter's Day, which means more than 70% of people have given up. And we want to reward you. Now through the 27th, listeners can get 30% off Iron Jock purchases over $75 when they use promo code ESPN30. You're going to score a 3-pack of Iron Jock socks, a $25 value. Again, ESPN30. We're giving away some gear. Don't know what the gear is, but what we do know is anytime we've given away Iron Jock gear, it's been very good. 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776 to go with caller 15 to win some Iron Jock gear. 800-990-3776. Caller 15, Iron Jock gear next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a seam head now. You can call me whatever you want.
Oh, seam head.
I don't even know what that is.
That means I'm a baseball dork. All I do is sit and watch MLB Big Inning at night.
Seam head.
I've never heard that before.
That's because you're not a seam head.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Things look a little bit different than this morning, that's for sure. Southbound 43's got a little bit of a backup heading through the Marquette. 41 southbound at Good Hope Road, we've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash there. Westbound 94 backed up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side is going to be slow from about 76th Street to Hawley Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, windy, a low of 13 with a wind chill of 0 to 5 above. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, snow likely at night with a high of 24. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Well, the rumor mill surrounding the future of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur continues to swirl. Star edge rusher Micah Parsons, meeting with the media at locker cleanout on Monday, had quite the endorsement for the Packers head coach who just finished year number 7 in Titletown.
When I agreed to come here, you were part of the reason why I came here. I want you a part of this, and, I love you, and, I think you're a great coach.
LaFleur is entering the final year of his contract in 2026, and new president and CEO Ed Policy said before the season he would like to avoid a lame duck year. I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Strong mind, strong body, and strong communities. That is what you need to know about the Princeton Club, and that is what you can achieve at the Princeton Club of New Berlin. When you walk in there, you will feel completely motivated to better yourself just like everyone else is doing. I've done personal training. They have saunas. They have workout classes. They have basketball courts. They have indoor-outdoor swimming pools. It all starts with a tour. Check it out. You're going to fall in love. Free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. Check out the Princeton Club of New Berlin. Get your tour and take that small step to a bigger journey for a better tomorrow. That's at theprincetonclub.net.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Prizes,
flyaways,
even
Cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's Kyle Brust Nortman on a Wednesday with Strofe running the show. I always love when I can read through the YouTube comments and see the Carbless Talking text line 800-990-3776 for the response to hear Brad out. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to hear Brad out.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
All right, guys.
We're already in mid-season form with the all right, guys. All right, guys, you know that I'm all about solving problems, and there's a problem that needs to be solved. We experienced it in 2025. We're getting a little taste of it in 2026, but here's what it is. I am over holidays being middle of the week, right? We talked about Christmas Day being on a Wednesday, on a Thursday. You've got all these different shakeups of Ben's mouth is on the floor. You got the 4th of July showing up on a Tuesday. No more of this. We experienced it to some degree this last Christmas and New Year's. What day is it? Do I work today? All those things. I'm going to suggest to you, KBN Nation, that all federal holidays must fall on a Friday or a Monday. That's right. Say goodbye to being slave to calendar purity and say hello to optimized weeks. Just imagine, Kyle, we've talked about this, where you've got 11 federal holidays. That means 11 long weekends. That means 11 four-day work weeks. Additionally, onto that, you use your PTO week.
What do you know? Brad's working less again.
You could manage your schedule so
6 weeks in
almost
Europe.
Half of your calendar could be 4-day work weeks. And the reality is, there's already plenty of this. This is way too late for this to be addressed. I can't believe I'm the first person addressing this. I would much rather have our holidays like we have so many other things. Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday is a floating Sunday, but we always commit it to Sunday. It's like March Madness. March Madness is always that weekend in March. We're not slavish to when the date actually is. We just know that, it's the Thursday and Friday of March Madness. That's when it is, not actually the date. Black Friday, Election Day. Election Day is always the Tuesday in November. It's not always November 4th. Right? And okay, is that a Wednesday or Friday? It's always that Tuesday. And of course, Thanksgiving, and this Monday, we're going to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King Day is the prototype holiday for this. Martin Luther King Day. What day are we trying to celebrate as we celebrate Martin Luther King Day? Kyle, do you know? Ben, do you know?
Do I know what day? It's a celebration of his birthday.
The celebration of his birthday. Do you know what that date is, Kyle?
Is it the 18th or 17th?
It's the 15th.
15th.
It's the 15th. But it's always the floating third Monday in January. So we're not even saying, we need to make sure that we are focusing on Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday on the 15th. We're always going to put it on the Monday because the lawmakers back in the day, they knew people want Mondays off. What a better way to celebrate than to have that than at a random time. So, to me, I'm going to change all holidays to where they fall on a Friday or a Monday. That means say goodbye to the 4th of July. Say goodbye to December 25th. No longer will Christmas be on December 25th.
Not Jesus' birthday.
He wasn't born on that actual day, but we're just going to glaze over that. So we can celebrate Jesus' birthday on the last Friday of December because he wasn't born on the 25th anyway. That even means New Year's Day. It might be the first of New Year's on a Wednesday, but we're going to celebrate on a Friday. We're gonna push or pull all of these holidays, even the 4th of July. It's not going to be the 4th of July anymore. It's going to be
Hurry up, this stinks.
Independence Day. Always a Friday, always a Monday. No more of these Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. Those stink as far as ways to celebrate those, but everybody loves a long weekend.
I like it. I like it because, listen, I understand there's something called observed holiday where, you can just observe a holiday. I like the fact that who cares that the 4th of July is on a damn Saturday, Wednesday, whatever it is. Listen, I'll celebrate the 4th of July on that Friday. I'm with you, Brad. I want to move all these federal holidays to a Monday or a Friday. Only objection I would have is some companies like our company this year, I believe Christmas falls on a Thursday this year?
It's a Friday.
Friday.
That's why 2026, might I add,
2026 is great.
A great case study in this because almost all federal holidays fall indeed on a Friday or Monday.
Valentine's Day a Saturday, 4th of July a Saturday, Halloween a Saturday, Christmas Day.
Halloween.
I believe we get Christmas Eve off this year. I think that's that. So what I'm saying is, if you have a company that says, well, it's on a Thursday, because a lot of companies with the Thursday Christmas, they just said take Friday off, and so that wasn't us. But a lot of companies did do that, and so Brad, that is the only backlash or pushback I give is that some of these corporations and companies says,
just take the whole, just take it.
But I do like the idea because I do love a good a Monday or Friday off.
If what's one holiday for one day? I'm like, okay, so if the 4th of July falls on a Wednesday,
yeah, hate that.
I don't mind it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Take some PTO and extend your weekend.
It's not that it's not that easy though, Ben.
Everybody ain't got a whole bunch of PTO.
No, I save it specifically for the holidays to extend the holidays.
But people need to work. Everybody can't take PTO. Somebody's got to work. So somebody's working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday. How do you go do anything? So it is the Friday, Monday optimizes it for everybody.
I'm on board. I like that because now I was all anti 4-day work week, but I don't know, man. That holiday season where I took some days away, I ain't gonna lie. I like it. I love doing the show, but I enjoy laying around doing nothing.
All right. Well, we'll get Rob Demovsky's thoughts coming up next, but I am very interested in what Rob Demovsky will bring to the table today. He tells it how it is. I think the last time I heard him on these airwaves was, Monday with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. So that's over 48 hours for Rob to stew some stuff up, or 36 hours or whatever it is, for us here on Kyle Brust Nortman, because I want to get the pulse of what is happening, and he will have a pulse, and he will give us the pulse of the ed policy, Matt LaFleur, coordinators, Bisaccia, this, that, and the other thing. Rob Demovsky, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, is next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
What is used to measure the loudness of sound?
It's a meter.
You're so close. Go to the D.
Decimeters.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
41 southbound, right about at Good Hope Road, we have the right shoulder blocked with a crash, so watch out for that. Looks like volume is relatively light past that scene, so we're not seeing too many delays there. Eastbound 94, watch for backups from about 76th Street past 68th, not quite to Hawley Road. Westbound is going to be slow from 27th Street to Hawley Road. And then on southbound 43, we've got some backups heading right through the Marquette interchange onto the high-rise bridge. Traffic is brought to you by the Milwaukee Bucks. You can buy one, get one free ticket to an upcoming Bucks home game courtesy of ESPN Milwaukee tomorrow only. Tune in tomorrow for details on how to get this limited ticket offer. And checking the TMJ for Storm King forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, windy with a low of 13, wind chills of 0 to 5 above, though. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, snow likely at night with a high of 24. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Watch the Bucks for free with select games on broadcast TV all season long.
WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on broadcast channel 49.1. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our next game is against Wemby and the Spurs. Thursday night at 6:30 on WMLW.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Whoa, hey, what are these?
Dude, Screamin' Sicilian Loaded Breadsticks. They are available in cheesy garlic or pepperoni. They're seriously not messing around. These bad boys bake right in their own tray and come fully loaded.
Okay, these are insane. Hey, is this dinner?
Nope, just the warm-up. Find Screamin' Sicilian Loaded Breadsticks in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian Loaded Breadsticks. Fully loaded, bring the flavor.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There are certain organizations that can't get certain positions right. The Bears can't get a quarterback.
Bold, bald, beautiful.
I'm one small, bald man.
ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky.
To me, their window is now wide open.
On Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Excited to have Rob Demovsky here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN NFL Nation reporter, who's probably getting ready to enjoy his offseason coming up here in a little bit. But right now, we got to get to the nitty-gritty. Rob, what's going on?
And how are you?
Doing well. Really, Rob, what I'm looking for is some clarity here. Obviously, there's been a lot of reports of policy on the floor and what's going to happen there. What are you hearing? Because I feel like the longer it goes, it feels like they're going to try and work something out. Is that fair?
Yes. Yeah, I think they're headed toward Matt LaFleur being the Packers coach in 2026 and perhaps beyond. I just think there's some details that still need to be worked out, but it seems like it is trending toward LaFleur staying as coach. I think we'll have a resolution here fairly soon, possibly even within the next 24 to 48 hours on that accord. But there's also other things that need to be done. I mean, Brian Gutekunst and Russ Paul are on similar timelines with their contracts. Matt LaFleur getting his coaching staff put together. That's part of this as well. And how much, I'm sure he are discussing what changes that both of them think need to be made, what changes will need to be made. But from what I understand, talks have progressed to the point where it would be surprising at this point if LaFleur wasn't the coach. Not done yet. By no means is this a sure thing, but it's headed that direction.
Do you agree with that decision?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, they're choosing stability over a risk-reward thing, right? And, in 1998, Mike Holmgren left to go to Seattle. They were a team that lost in the divisional round of the playoffs. They were 11-5, and the loss was that crazy, Jerry Rice
fumble.
That catch game or not catch game. You're right. So the next year, Holmgren leaves. So obviously it wasn't their choice to move on from Holmgren, but they took a step backwards with Ray Rhodes, and it they didn't make the right hire. So there's huge risk to moving on from Matt LaFleur. I talked to Holmgren last week or 2 weeks ago for a story I did on Love, and whether he's on the right trajectory toward, being a Super Bowl type quarterback. And this sticks in my mind. And one of the things he said was that the best thing Jordan has going for him is that he's in the same system with the same coaching staff, and they're doing things the right way. And I was thinking about this too. Look at what happened to Jordan Love his last year at Utah State. He had a really good year the year before, and they had a coaching change, and he went backwards, went way backwards. So I think you have to consider all those things when you're making that decision.
Rob, you mentioned Russ Ball, Brian Gutekunst, names we haven't mentioned because LaFleur's been the focus. I'm curious on the relationship between Goody and LaFleur. How would you describe it? Because it seems like they are still locked in the hip with their futures in Wisconsin to some degree, or with Green Bay in some degree.
It's really interesting, Brad, because, obviously Goody was hired a year before LaFleur, but Goody doesn't have the power over him. And from what I was told, Ed Policy would prefer to go back to the old system. The problem is, or the complication is, do you extend Goody and give him that power before you extend LaFleur? And that also could be part of the holdup here, part of the delay, trying to work through all that. If Goody, for whatever reason, didn't want to keep LaFleur, but yet Ed Policy wanted to give him the power over the coach, then what happens, right? All those things, the timeline, the who signs first, who's hired here or what. I remember when John Schneider took the Seattle GM job, and a week after they hired Pete Carroll, and I remember talking to Schneider, I'm like, boy, would you really want to go to a place where, they just hired a coach and you didn't hire him? And he said, you know what, it works out perfect. If Pete Carroll stinks, hey, it wasn't my hire, and then I get another chance. So perhaps they give the power back to Gutekunst, but say, hey, you're keeping LaFleur, but the next time around it's your choice. It almost buys Gutekunst even more time. Say, hey, it's not my decision. But I think those are all things that are at play, and everyone's like, well, why is it taking so long? It's because of all those things that have to be ironed out.
Talking with Rob Demovsky here on Kyle, Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Yeah, Rob, what does the coaching staff look like specifically at the coordinator position next year? Because, Hafley probably looks like he's going to be gone. We don't know what's going to happen with Stenovich. It seems like maybe Luke Butkus may be gone. Rich Bisaccia should be gone. What does it look like at the coordinator position moving forward next year?
Yeah, Kyle, that's a great question, Kyle. I think that there's a very real possibility that they could have 3 new coordinators next year. One thing that people talked to me about last year in the organization was, assistant coaches moving on so that you can hire new assistant coaches that therefore bring new ideas. It's not necessarily that you don't think guys are good at their job, but sometimes you just need fresh ideas. And whether Stenovich is back because or not back because he's let go, or because he wants to go find another opportunity, maybe he wants to go call plays, whether the offensive line coach isn't back, it's an opportunity to get new ideas into this coaching staff. It's the same head coach, but new ideas can bring a lot of success. So I think there's a real possibility there. One thing that's hard to know is assistant coach contracts. Like Rich Bisaccia, typically they're 2-year contracts, and typically they roll over, always having 2 years left on them. But a coach can decline that rollover so that at the end of a contract he's free to go without a team blocking him. So this is Rich Bisaccia's 4th year, if I'm not mistaken?
Too long.
Is it possible that that his contract could be up? Those are things that are almost impossible to find out because there's no contract database like there is for player contracts that have to be turned in to the league. So, some of these coaches just could quite simply be at the end of their contracts. And therefore, it's still, to me, if you're at the end of your contract and you're not renewed, you were fired. Other people argue with me. Say, no, you weren't fired. Your contract was up. Well, that's just semantics. But I do think that there are going to be changes on the coaching staff, and it would not surprise me if all 3 of them. Now, here's the thing about Hafley. I think Jeff Hafley's going to be an NFL head coach someday, maybe even this year. But I wonder if he'll face any questions in the interviews about why your defense let up 25 points in the fourth quarter of that playoff game. I mean, everyone's crushing Matt LaFleur, and I understand he's the head coach, but
what do you think the Packers asked Matt LaFleur about his offense in Tennessee?
Yeah, well, it's a good point also. And Mike McCarthy, when he got the Packers job, was coming off a San Francisco team that was like 31st in offense. I mean, I'm sure the question will be, I doubt it's like held highly against somebody, but it might give a team pause, right? I mean, it's possible it could give a team pause.
It's been floated to just give Matt LaFleur the extension, and if they get another 7th seed or early round exit or miss the playoffs, just fire him, because who cares? There's no coaching salary cap. Knowing what little you know about Ed policy, do you think that even with an extension, there's a chance that an underwhelming 2026 could be Matt LaFleur's last year, or does this really lock him in for many years?
No, I don't think. I think you're 100% right, Brad. I mean, this league is a year-to-year league, and paying. Let's just say, for argument's sake, they do a 3-year extension, which would give them 4 years, and let's say it's, I don't know, what do you think, $12 million a year? I don't think they would have any trouble eating 3 years of that deal, $36 million. I mean, the Green Bay Packers have $500 million in their reserve fund, which is, that's what they have in lieu of they don't have an owner. There's no Jerry Jones. So they have a reserve fund just in case that they need money, and they have $500 million in their reserve fund, or at least that's what it was last summer when they gave their annual report. And my suspicion
is it probably went up.
It's probably up, given the stock. I know my 401k is looking good.
That's right, Rob.
I'm assuming theirs is being okay too.
Rob Demovsky for a little bit longer here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Rob, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Rich Bisaccia, so it is interesting that you bring that up. How should fans? I hear your point about the sustainability and Matt LaFleur with Jordan Love, but also he's an NFL quarterback getting paid $55 million. I don't think you should be looking back at Utah State when he got in. He's a professional now. With this move, for the people that think it's a slap in the face, because there are some, and there are some that have seen stability is good. Why should the people trust that Matt LaFleur can actually get it done in the playoffs with this record and how this season finished with them losing 5 games, them losing games with leads, them losing in a way of time management? How does that portion get fixed for the fan base that is scared about the culture, the in-game decision, not necessarily the offensive mind?
Yeah, no, those are very real questions, Ben. And I do think that starting with upgrading your coaches and adding people that can help you and not just yes men. I mean, I'm not saying that's what the staff is, but you better bring in guys that will challenge you, that will make you better as a head coach. And to me, that's where LaFleur's got to get it figured out. And that's whether that's special teams, offensive coordinator, senior and special assistant to the head coach, or whatever the heck you want to call these titles. That is imperative for them to get that done.
Rob, one more quick question about me. Did Ed Policy, to your knowledge, kick the tires or make any calls on anyone not named Matt LaFleur before they started negotiating?
Don't believe so, officially, but you never know what goes on behind the scenes, right?
Okay.
That's, I don't believe so, but
okay.
But I guess we can't swear to that.
Yeah, Rob, despite all the losing ways Ben just talked about, the different ways my team has lost this past season under Matt LaFleur, are you still confident that this team will compete for championships in 2026-27?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Kyle, they're well positioned. I really do. I think, they've got to, obviously, Micah Parsons has to come back and be Micah Parsons. Just because you get your ACL fixed doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be the same. Now,
if Christian Watson can do it, Micah Parsons can do it.
Well, and Christian Watson is I'd argue he's better now than he was pre.
Dude, insane. Usually it takes a year of getting comfortable. He hit the ground running.
Yeah, that's what they always used to say, right? The year after your ACL is when you're at your best. But I'm sure technology has advanced.
Well, either way, there's still a trust level that you have to gain, even if it's in the first month or two. And he, that first month or two, was really great and trusted it clearly.
Blew it away, yeah. But every injury is different. Every surgery is different. So let's start by just trusting the fact that Micah Parsons is going to be back to what he was and holds up. And, you're always going to have injuries, right? Like, you're always going to lose guys, but it's who you lose and at what point you lose them. Assuming they start next year with Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft, look, I mean, quite frankly, those are their best offensive weapon, probably, other than maybe Watson, and their best defensive player. You can't lose those guys again. There's certain people you can't lose, but assuming they have those guys, assuming they get better on the coaching staff, I don't think there's any reason to think they won't. I mean, Minnesota is clearly going backwards. Detroit may not recover from, their drop-off. And, obviously Chicago is going to be a team that's got to be reckoned with. But, look, I mean, a few years ago, Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson was Matt LaFleur, right? And doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be the number one seed or the number one team in the division every year. It's not insurmountable. There's no question in my mind that they can, get this thing figured out.
Tell me if this is a crazy thought. Are they going to consider moving on from Josh Jacobs?
It's a good question. It's a 4-year deal, but it was always a 2-year and then renegotiate. That's a really hard call. I would assume they would bring him back, but I can't guarantee it 100%. But I would lean toward they would redo the contract and at least have him for one more year.
Well, Rob, we appreciate all the insight. A lot of good stuff there, as always. And, enjoy the offseason. I think we might still be talking to you. We might not be, but we appreciate you.
We'll figure it out. All right, we'll see you guys.
That's Rob Demovsky, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, giving you the latest up in 1265. Look, the Princeton Club is a place where I go when I need to get the workout in, and I got a great Christmas gift for my wife, which was tennis lessons, so we can drop our kid off at the free childcare with our membership. I work out, she does her lesson, then we can go to the pool in the summer in New Berlin. There's 8 different Madison locations. Each of them has something different. So at this point, if you're looking for growth in your fitness world, the Princeton Club provides everything. Clean health clubs, a great environment, the best equipment, upgrading the facilities, always. So don't wait. Get your better tomorrow today. Get your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. Go get a tour. You're going to sign up. You're going to love it. Check it out. More next. It's Kyle, Brust Nortman. A lot of stuff to react to from Rob there.
This is Kyle, Brust Nortman.
He is now off his rocker saying it. Well, if I played...
Choke artist. Choke artist, choke artist, choke artist. That's what you both are. Yeah, I said it. You both are choke artists.
Losers, choke artists.
That's what you are. You
frauds,
choked against TCU. You choked against Oregon. You choked against Kentucky. Y'all choked against Duke. I can keep going.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Kyle, Brust Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements.
Marquette's Big East struggles continued with a 92-68 loss to St. John's at Madison Square Garden. The Golden Eagles trailed by just 6 at the half, but were outscored 52-34 in the second half. Head coach Shaka Smart on what happened to his squad after halftime.
Defense, not enough aggressiveness. They only made 1 3. The story of the half is points in the paint, but it was offensive rebounds, drives down the middle. We have to have more force.
Senior guard Chase Ross led all MU scorers with 20 points and reached a milestone, becoming the 55th player in school history to score 1,000 career points. Marquette falls to 6-12 overall and just 1-6 in conference play. The Golden Eagles wrap up its brief 2-game road swing Friday night at DePaul.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements. Visit gomarquette.com/matrix to enter to win 4 tickets to National Marquette Day Saturday, February 7th when Marquette hosts Butler. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I think they're headed toward Matt LaFleur being the Packers coach in 2026 and perhaps beyond. I just think there's some details that still need to be worked out, but it seems like it is trending toward LaFleur staying as coach.
That was Rob Demovsky, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, with us, Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. And I think we all started to get the feeling as the week went on. I just said as the week went on.
No, go ahead, put the Matty Mouse voice on. You can't.
He's still Matty Mouse. I don't have the confidence in him to take the Packers to places that they should go with Jordan Love and Micah Parsons.
Y'all stay over there. The Sophonized team,
fine.
Matty Mouse.
It's fine.
I think he's a good coach.
No one said he's not a good coach. It's just, again,
I just don't trust him in a big moment.
Rob Demovsky even explained it as like it's the sustainable play. It's not like it's not like he talked about like they Ed Policy is bringing back Matt LaFleur because he sees that he's going to. They're not talking about an extension of 4 or 5 years. They're talking about it as like literally like he could be here 1 more year, and if they reframe the structure of the silos, that Goody could fire him after 1 year of him being his boss, because then now he can make the decision on the next head coach.
Nobody wants that.
I actually, if I'm Matt LaFleur, that's the part that would kind of irritate me, is if I do come back and then they change the structure and then Goody becomes my boss after working with him, as you said, hip to hip for 7 years and being like co-workers instead of boss and other. Like, that's a weird dynamic. That's a very interesting
Could you
dynamic.
imagine Goody giving you your like performance reviews and you're like, you know what, Matt, you're just not
at
really
that
doing
point,
it
Matt would be like, dude, you didn't give me what I needed.
No, that's like one of us or Strofe becoming our boss. Like that, I'll be like, come on, man. I don't believe. Like, I love you, Strofe, but come on, man.
He turned your mic off. Oh, he's already on a power trip.
Strofe, give us the performance review.
Oh, Strofe, I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I think you're doing
excellent.
a phenomenal job. Splendid job.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Yeah,
The best producer I could ever ask for. Just in case you become my boss, I want you to have this on
I don't
record.
need this job that much.
Like I said, I'd rather, someone said, you're balding because he makes fun of Strofe. I said, I'd rather go bald than have to give up making fun of Strofe.
Yeah.
That's a sacrifice.
That is how I
it's a
feel
daily
deep
ritual.
down. Not that fluff that I just gave you there. But you can't cut my mic because we care about our partners here, and that is IKEA. January 20th, we will be there on Tuesday. It is a new pickup point for you at the University Bookstore, a wonderful partnership that they have. IKEA Family is free to join. You get 90-day price protection, saving on delivery, access to buyback and resell programs. But more importantly, it is a new pickup point for you as an IKEA family member for free when you order stuff online. Parents, go right to the University Bookstore for your kids. Order it there. They'll pick it up, and they can put it together. Jim, Matt, and Molly, they're up next in Madison. The Damn Sports Show in Beaver Dam. I do want to revisit that quote from Rob Demovsky, definitely, coming up next here. Kyle, Brust Nortman, 94.5 ESPN, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. We're back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
KBN's the show that never ends.
They're still working on this accident. 41 southbound, right at Good Hope Road. The right shoulder is blocked. Other than that, we just have general delays. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street to Hawley Road. Westbound is slowing down from about 20th Street all the way to Hawley. Southbound 43 backing up through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down towards Beecher. And we've got eastbound 894 slowing down out of the Hale interchange to about Forest Home. Northbound does have an incident with the left lane blocked on right about, well, just past the Hale interchange, just north of the Hale interchange, right about at Howard Avenue. So we got delays coming out of the interchange itself. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy and windy, a low of 13, wind chill of 0 to 5 above. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, snow likely at night with a high of 24. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Watch the Bucks for free with select games on broadcast TV all season long. WMLW is the broadcast home of the Milwaukee Bucks. With 8 select games you can watch for free on broadcast channel 49.1. Check out the full schedule at WMLW.com. Our next game is against Wemby and the Spurs. Thursday night at 6:30 on WMLW.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN.
That's Kyle Wallace, Packer backer. Ben Brust alongside Super Bowl runner-up, NFL vet. Past vet? Or you call the vet?
Former player.
Former player. I mean,
retired. I was a vet. I think yeah, like year 4 vet when you're kind of considered a vet.
Did you retire?
He was
I haven't
forced out of the
sent
league.
anything in officially.
So you're not
the
retired.
NFL retired me. They said you're done. Don't even worry about it.
Do you need to retire, like to get any benefits?
No, they just start triggering the longer you're out. So all my retirement benefits have like They just determined it. Like you get like I don't know. Like long story short, you get like you have all like your retirement stuff, but you do get like a severance payment based on how long you played for. And
that's nice.
It was nice. I figured it'd be like I'd have to like submit my retirement paperwork to.
They just started paying you.
They just paid it. They just said you're done, bro. It was like
they knew you were done.
I think it was 18 months after I was last on a roster, and they just said you're not coming back.
If you were to, in the hypothetical, land a job,
great question.
Because pay the severance back.
Philip Rivers has got it. You don't pay it back, but if you then play another season, then you only get another severance payment for just that season.
Got it.
Alex, you severance look like?
Of course he does.
Nice.
It's nice.
Nice.
Did you know that was coming?
Yeah. I've got my pulse on all the.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, accounting, finance.
So the NFL says if you don't get signed back for a team, we're going to say thank you for your service and pay you just because.
Yeah, severance payment.
Severance from what?
Because you need to transition out.
He put his body on the line, Kyle, as a punter.
Yeah, all those sunflower seeds.
I'm a victim.
All those games that they were playing in spring training. Alex Strofe is running the show. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. Get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, and of course the ESPN Wisconsin app. If you missed it, we did have Rob Demovsky on with us, and he gave us the latest. With the Matt LaFleur, Ed Policy, Goody, Russ Ball, all the likes. Here's Rob Demovsky specifically on the Matt LaFleur situation.
I think they're headed toward Matt LaFleur being the Packers coach in 2026 and perhaps beyond. I just think there's some details that still need to be worked out, but it seems like it is trending toward LaFleur staying as coach.
How does that make you feel? 800-990-3776. It is trending for Matt LaFleur to be the coach in 2026 after what happened on Saturday and how you felt Sunday, Monday. It's now Wednesday. How do you feel about Matt LaFleur more than likely being the head coach in 2026 for the Green Bay Packers?
Well, that's why I asked the follow-up question to Rob's knowledge, and now things could have happened without his knowledge, but to his knowledge, did they make any external calls on Harbaugh or anyone else before negotiating with Matt LaFleur? Because my stance has always been, Matt LaFleur is a good coach. If you think you can get a great coach, an elite coach, you go and do that. But if you can't, then Matt LaFleur is good. You kind of stay with the one you're with. Now that Rob said no, he does not believe they made any other calls. Their sole focus was Matt LaFleur.
He kind of had like I'm sure, Ed Policy behind, like through his connections of being
the
league.
Things can happen.
But we all knew, and we had this discussion, we know all those open jobs right now. It's not like we've been seeing the biggest names in the world that nobody was clamoring over anybody.
Yeah, there's not a hot.
There was no clamoring over but if you do fire him, you get that guy.
Harbaugh would be the only one that would be debatable. That is a proven candidate. At this point, I'm not sure I would roll the dice on an unproven candidate. So for me, I would toss all those guys out. I would need a proven candidate that's an elite coach that's a guaranteed step up for Matt LaFleur. So the fact that that's not happening, I totally get it. I understand that policy. It's his first big decision as the Packers president. So I can understand it's sort of the Packer way, is it not? It is a tried and true, let's stay the course, let's stay relevant. 7 seeds and early exits be darned. I know what I get with Matt LaFleur, and even Rob said it beautifully. Prioritizing stability over any sort of risk reward. And that's just who the Green Bay Packers are. It keeps you relevant, it keeps you good, but it also keeps you only having 2 Super Bowls in 30 some years. So to me, it's good, but I don't have any high-level aspirations that I would place any sort of money on that, the Packers are winning the Super Bowl next year.
I mean, it's very hard to say they're going to win the Super Bowl next year, but I feel very confident that this team is going to be one of the teams that have an absolute chance to win it. If you change over, as Rob talked about, you don't know what you are going to get. You can end up getting a Ray Rose that took over an 11-win team, ended up going 8-8, and got fired the following season after Mike Holmgren left. You do not know what the future holds, but what you do understand with Matt LaFleur is despite the fact that, yes, we are disappointed with the way things ended, you still understand that this team has a chance to win a Super Bowl with Matt LaFleur as the head coach. Nobody will sit here and say this team cannot go to a Super Bowl next year, and Matt LaFleur plays a role in that. Now, you bring somebody new, and you're going to say, okay.
I wouldn't speak for everyone. I think there are some people that would say they can't.
I said in here.
In here, you can't speak for me.
Yeah, well,
when the ball is kicked in a playoff game, I'm going to be having, as I would like to say, a tight sphincter for Packer fans.
You would lie, because you was screaming and yelling how the Packers was going to beat the Chicago Bears last week, so you didn't have a tight sphincter.
The fact that it didn't says a lot.
I mean, it does say a lot to.
You're the one who says new information as it comes can change your opinion. There was some new information there.
There was some
from a 21-3 debacle.
But again, I think the bigger conversation for me is not so much Matt LaFleur, is he coming back? The bigger conversation is Matt LaFleur is coming back, but who else is going to be on the staff with him? That is the thing that from what we saw this whole season, Matt LaFleur needs some help. He needs some more experience around him. He needs other guys that can challenge him around him, and that's what this offseason should be about. When he brought in Jeff Hafley, he brought in somebody that can be a leader of men on the defense. Now, again, he calls all the plays, but Stenavich helps him organize stuff on the offensive side. Is Stenavich a true? Is he a truly? Well, that's the problem. Is he a true leader of men that they actually need to be there on the offensive side of football? I do not know that, but from what we see and the information that we got, especially knowing that Rich Bisaccia was the assistant head coach, I want to know what he did. What was his assistant head coach duties?
I don't think we're ever going to find out,
because he completely in life. I'm sure he's great and he's had some success before that. But if he's the assistant head coach, from what we've seen with the game management, he has completely failed at being an assistant to Matt LaFleur. So overall, I think the biggest thing and conversation we need to talk about is how do you revamp this offensive staff, this special teams, in order to help this team take the next
and likely step. Defense based off the way it's trending with Jeff Hafley.
Because Hafley's probably going to scalp anyone that he can.
And I meant to ask Rob from if Hafley leaves, are there any people that Matt LaFleur's connected with that you could see coming to the Green Bay Packers?
I want Al Harris.
That would be nice.
We'll go through that process when that happens, if it happens. Let's go to Doug in Kenosha. Doug, I would love to hear from the fans at 800-990-3776 as it's a likely scenario that Matt LaFleur is coming back, per Rob Demovsky. Doug, you're on the Carbless Talk and Text line with KBN.
Yeah, I love LaFleur, and although after the game I did post on Facebook, get rid of LaFleur, Hafley, and McMahon.
You and many others, my friend.
It's all right.
But then I also reposted Sunday and said, okay, I'm thinking straight. I love LaFleur. Honestly, here's how I look at it. Besides the last 2 minutes of the game in the playoffs, what do you think LaFleur, what would you rate him? I give him like an A-, a B+ as a coach. Now, obviously, he gets an F for the last 2 minutes, but what's your thoughts? If you just forget about that part, what do you think about him as a coach?
For the whole season, for the game, for just his whole career?
The 7 years?
Yeah, his whole career as a coach. I think I would say he's one of the top 5 coaches in the league.
I don't think he can get
top 5.
I don't think he can get an A based off the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's BB+.
Yeah, that's where I'm landing too, because you have to weight it like you do any course load. You have to weight the playoffs.
The syllabus system.
Yes, the syllabus system. You have to weight the final exam heavier than you weight a couple of earlier midterms.
They can put the stats on the TV of what his regular season record is and how great it is.
76-40-1.
It's great. But I would say in my syllabus, that's 40% of his grade, 60%, and how you look at elite coaches is what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah, and to me, so because of that he's a BB+, you have to be great or elite to get an A. And the Packers are achieving B-level results. They're making the playoffs. They're the 7th seed year in and year out, and they're not making fairly deep runs. Now, he can bump that grade up, and I don't think it's impossible for him to change his ways and learn from his mistakes and take this team on a run. Kyle, I'm with you. I would not say this team cannot win a Super Bowl. They'll be part of the 8 to 10 teams that you would consider true Super Bowl contenders, but he's going to be stuck at a BB+ until he shows me anything at all in the postseason.
Let's go to Mike in Oconomowoc out in Lake Country in Brad's area. Mike, you're on the Carbless Talk and Text line with KBN.
My man.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I had a litany of things I was going to go through on Sunday, but wanted to touch base on this. You guys talked about it a little bit before. My concern is I don't think Matt LaFleur is a leader. First and foremost, I think it's going to be a struggle for him. And, nobody's talking about those things that happened earlier in the season, like the loss to the Browns, the loss to the Bengals, both with Flacco coming in.
Well,
I don't
I'm pretty sure they beat the Bengals, but they did blow like they made it tight. But I get your overall point. They did have a lot of games that they were up and lost. Yes, keep going.
Right, and stuff that they should have gone, a little bit more aggressive on. But my main question is, if Hafley does leave, and you guys are kind of leaning towards this, do you think there's a chance that he goes after his good friend Robert Saleh for the DC? Because I think he is more of a leader.
Yes, so I have been thinking about Robert Saleh a lot because I think he actually did a pretty good job. If you look at where the Jets are, they're just a bad organization. I think he's a good leader and obviously a good defensive coordinator. But why would you leave San Francisco as a defensive coordinator? I
be with
guess
your best friend.
to be with your
best friend. Interview for a job.
The best man in his wedding. Micah Parsons off the edge. Some good foundational young pieces with middle of defense.
Robert Saleh was the linebackers coach when I was in Jacksonville, so I played under his deal. I don't know how exactly to say that. He was a coach on a team that I was a part of.
He was the coach of the team that you sat in meetings with him in a all-team meeting. Did you talk to him?
Yeah. Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, elite.
That was
guy.
a high voice. Yeah.
I mean, I talk all the time.
You talking
The
passing.
coaches hang out on the sidelines when their teams aren't up, and who do you think they're going to talk to? They talk to the specialists.
That's
'cause we're
very
awesome.
true, probably.
Very inviting people.
Yeah, that's right. We are non-threatening.
I think
Very
obviously
non-threatening.
that would be what is Ed Policy willing to open up his pocketbooks for
Yeah,
Robert
because he's
Saleh?
going to be a top-level DC. I mean, he's capable. He was a great coach. He's intense.
No,
that would be a home run.
It would be a home run.
From what we know about Ed Policy is that he is not afraid of opening up the pocketbooks because of the fact that they went and got Micah Parsons and signed him to that huge deal. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're having a conversation
He's
about...
like, thanks, Mark Murphy. You gave me this big reserve fund to use, baby.
$500 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. And,
And as we heard from Rob Demovsky, his 401k is going to the Packers are growing too.
Skyrocketed up that 20% or whatever it was. But at the end of the day, I do believe that if there is an opportunity to get a guy like a Robert Saleh, which I believe this is his first year in San Francisco, and based off what Rob is saying, it's a 2-year deal. I don't know how you're going to be able to snatch him as an assistant, and he's probably looking to be a head coach very, very soon. That will be a home run hit for that defense to be able to transition from a guy like Jeff Hafley to another guy that is an absolute dude as a defensive coordinator, and Robert Saleh. That is the level of experience that we need to bring in. That is the level of culture that we need to bring in, where every coach around there can be a leader of men. We joked about Anthony Campanelli about how crazy he was, all that crazy speech that he gave on Hard Knocks when he was a linebackers coach down in Miami, but he came up here and clearly it impacted this defense in a positive way.
Where he earned another opportunity.
And then he ended up going to the Jags, and now that Jags had one of the best defenses in the NFL, and now he's getting a chance to interview for jobs. He was a leader of men. We got to get more of those guys on the offensive side of the football and the defensive side of football to build up. All great teams have a great staff.
One interesting litmus test will be what coaches will want to coach underneath Matt LaFleur. Coaches want to go coach for a team that they think is going to have success and a head coach that they respect. So if he can get a haul, if he can attract guys to Green Bay, I think it's going to be a super interesting. If he's just getting leftovers, it says a lot about how the league thinks about Matt LaFleur.
But also, I don't know about that because the caveat that you put into the conversation was if it's an uncertain feeling about his tenure, does Robert Saleh then come when
true.
he might have more job stability under Shanahan and can do what he's been doing and then get his next opportunity?
There's truth to that too.
Let's go to Reggie in Texas. You're on the Carbless Talking text line with KBN.
Hi, Phil. First of all, thanks for taking my call. Y'all are making some great points about the character guy he needs to bring in. He needs to bring in, first of all, someone who's a strong enough voice who can talk him out of some of the really crazy things he tries to do during the course of a game. I mean, almost like a bench coach in baseball. The tackle-eligible play inside your 10-yard line to Kennard there in the early third quarter, best you can do is maybe 5 yards on that, 6, a tackle running with the ball, or turn it over, which he almost did, and just all the kamikaze fourth downs he does. He needs a strong enough voice, someone who can say, Coach, we got to think about this. And, I don't know if he has that on the staff now. That's the risk you run.
He has it on the staff now, but it's currently Rich Bisaccia, which we'll see if that is the case moving forward. Appreciate the call, Reggie.
Honestly, I don't know what Rich is doing. I'm being so serious. There are legitimately high school coaches that could probably do better game management and helping in with game management and could pick from really good high school coaches than what Rich Bisaccia did. Because I don't know if Matt LaFleur did not have any help, and it's clear to me. It's clear to me he did not have any help with managing his timeouts, managing the overall game clock, coming out of a timeout and getting a delay of game. There is not somebody there that he can trust, that he can look to, because you got to have the guy you can look to that helps you. That's it. I'm sure Bo Ryan had that.
No.
He didn't have that with Greg Gard at all.
No, Bo did everything.
Well, Bo was an absolute gangster. Maybe Ron Rivera had a guy.
He's a Naismith Hall of Famer.
I mean, guys need guys. I look at Mike Holmgren.
I laugh when the assistants would tell me things to do. It's like, I don't care what you say. Bo makes all the decisions around here.
Mike Holmgren, look at his staff. Up and down that staff that he had, whether it's John Gruden, Steve Mariucci, Andy Reid, I think Dick Duran was on that. All these guys went on to become head coaches. Why? Yeah. It's because they all developed under Mike Holmgren. That is a solid staff. Hell, Ray Rose was on that staff.
I want to keep hearing from KBN Nation. As we heard from Rob Demovsky, it's obviously trending in the direction that Matt LaFleur will be back. So I want to hear from you. How do you feel about Matt LaFleur as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers in 2026? Assuming that things are going to continue the way that Rob Demovsky explained, we will hear from you at 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line. Next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
What do you have on her?
What do you mean?
No one can willingly love you like she does.
You know,
on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
794 southbound at Car Ferry Drive. We've got the left lane blocked with a crash, so watch out for that. Otherwise, we do have southbound 43 backing up from just before North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette. Westbound is backing up from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound backed up from 84th Street to Hawley Road. We've also got westbound 894 backing up out of the Mitchell interchange past Loomis, and then a couple of other delays on northbound through the Hale interchange and southbound to eastbound. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy and windy, a low of 13, wind chill of 0 to 5 above. Tomorrow, increasing clouds with snow likely at night, a high of 24. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
or a better diamond
or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
if you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO with Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation course starts today.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I think they're headed toward Matt LaFleur being the Packers coach in 2026 and perhaps beyond. I just think there's some details that still need to be worked out, but it seems like it is trending toward LaFleur staying as coach.
That was Rob Demovsky with us. If you missed Rob's appearance, go back on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, or the ESPN Wisconsin app. We are Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Milwaukee.
The Mighty Mouse is back.
It's still Matty Mouse
The
until
mighty
he wins.
Matty Mouse is back.
It's
man.
Matty Mouse until he wins a meaningful playoff game that we know he needs to win.
No, he don't talk like this. He talk like this.
You know
he
that's
a
not
mouse
who
on
he is.
steroids.
That's not who he is. So when you hear that and you know that it's likely trending that Matt LaFleur is going to be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers in 2026, how do you feel? Let's go to Kevin in a car. You're up on KBN on the Carbless Talk and Text line.
Hey, I got to make this quick. I'm at a drive-thru. So I heard
anything good on the menu? Are you getting a bag of fries? Going to eat them all before you go home?
I'm actually going through a Walgreens.
Oh, wow! All right.
This is going to be awkward. So I heard a couple of disturbing stats today. That LaFleur in his last 74 games is 38-35-1. That's a 500 coach, and he's 4-11 in his last 15 games against playoff teams.
I can confirm the 4-11.
Yeah, and who said it yesterday? I saw a YouTube post that he's not a top line coach. Was that Norman who said that yesterday? I saw.
Yeah,
YouTube.
I think I said
Sounds
basically
like
good,
Bradley.
not great or elite.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I think. I think I've said this for many years. Okay, is that choking in sports manifests itself more in decision making than anything else. Yeah, you can get a tight elbow, tight arm, whatever, and that's choking. But it's like when your brain ceases to function, and that leopard ain't changing those spots. So
you feel like LaFleur has coaching big game paralysis?
He chokes.
There it is. That's from Kevin in a car. And again, you have evidence of 7 years. If you want to say that, I can hear it. Again, these opinions are all for you to share. Let's go on the other side of the coin here. Anyone on the phone line here? Yeah, Bubba, the Milwaukee math teacher. We're tripping on the floor. Tell us. Bubba? Bubba going once?
I'm done teaching, so I ain't got to speak professionally. Can y'all hear me?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just got done teaching, so I ain't got to speak professionally. Y'all be tripping, KBN world. Like, I don't like that for us, y'all. Listen, eventually, we got to hone in and love who we have. We cannot give Chicago and that Bear crew the satisfaction of unseating our coach because of a loss. In the terms of the last 7 years, you can't find a team that's experienced more highs, more riches than our football team. We saw the progression of our quarterback under our coach. You don't want to hire a new coach and then all of a sudden hope he loves Jordan as much as Matt loves Jordan. Because it is about Jordan. All right? When it comes to these playoff losses, it is what it is, y'all. Only one team wins the Super Bowl every year. We've experienced riches. We've experienced NFC championship games. We've been in the playoffs over the last 17 seasons more times than not versus other teams that don't have the luxury of saying that, i.e. the Bears. and we're going to unseat our coach because we have a loss in the playoffs? That happens. If you're not winning the Super Bowl, you're going to be dissatisfied.
Bubba,
I
appreciate you.
They don't like rational people, Bubba. I'm sorry, Bubba.
So two things.
Yeah.
It would on the surface for Bears fans appear that way, but anyone who would be looking at from a Matt LaFleur over the course of his career would look at it as the whole evidence as to why. So externally, if you're worried about that, I think you're insecure as to the reasoning as to why you would move on from Matt LaFleur. The highest riches is a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
That was just the only
Eagles, the Niners, the Rams.
To a degree, he's right. Like they're the sustainability, the making the playoffs. That's good. That's like everyone wants that.
They're one of the crown jewels of people of sustainability in NFL, but the championship title makes it not want to be the most desirable team to be because you haven't won a title.
So there's some good stuff there, but I wouldn't say they've been the highest of riches. Chris in Germantown, you're up on KBN.
I'm sorry, who'd you go to?
Chris in Germantown.
Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Hey, how are you doing? How you guys doing?
Yo, hit us.
Good. So my question is with the change in the format with the playoffs, Packers wouldn't have made it the last several years being the 7th seed, correct?
Yes.
Okay, correct. But the change happened.
Yeah. So how does that? I mean, that's a couple of years that we wouldn't have made the playoffs with Matt LaFleur.
You never know what's going to happen. Maybe
they also did win the first game ever as a number 7 seed. You can again. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like they did go into Dallas as a 7 seed and whoop on them. Now, ideally, you don't want to be 7 seed, 17, 17. And again, I understand the frustration of it feels like they're not getting the output that they can get with the coach and the quarterback that you paid for. The injuries this year hurt, but overall, you still could have won a playoff game being a 7 seed, being up 21-3 on the road against the Bears.
Yeah, and like 6 out of 7 years going to the playoffs, that is impressive, whether it's a 7 seed or not for Matt LaFleur. I can understand the argument, though, that it somehow like delegitimizes the fact that 7 seed is not that much to clamor about, and during my day, you'd be out of the playoffs.
Okay, your day is the past. Like, can we stop with if they didn't have the 7 seed's been in the NFL now for what, 5 years, something like that?
2020 or 2021.
So, I mean, so what are we talking about? If and buts were peanuts and nuts, what is it?
It's not the version I heard, but I was looking for it and I didn't say it because I didn't have it on my hand. Let's go to John in Milwaukee with an H because we have a John in Milwaukee with no H. So we'll go to the H John.
Gentlemen, thanks for taking my call. Happy Wednesday.
Hey,
John. Knowing that John Harbaugh
with an H
has more double-digit halftime lead losses than anybody else. I believe the number is at 17, and it goes back to like the 90s. And Mike Tomlin has lost the last 7 playoff games. What coach that is available right now do you think or do you see is better than what we currently have in Matt LaFleur?
That's available?
That's available.
Yeah, we've discussed that, and I think that's why Ed Policy's in this spot of like, if I don't have my guy, if I don't have the one that is going to replace Matt, then it doesn't make sense to upset the established order. But it would be one more year, Matt, and there will be someone that will be replacing you if the results aren't where it's at.
I think Tomlin is the only one that's interested. Harbaugh, too, but Tomlin, when he had a good quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, they were legit contenders that went to and won Super Bowls. And you have that in Jordan Love. So I think Tomlin, he's hadn't had a quarterback in like 5-7 years.
You know what's hilarious?
5 years.
Is probably up until this last game, everybody was talking about Hafley, fire LaFleur, get Hafley. One bad fourth quarter, and that Hafley train has significantly decreased. But he's one of the hot head coaching candidates, and I don't think at this point, do y'all want Hafley as a coach?
As the defensive coordinator?
No, as the head coach of this team.
No,
we've been very clear about that.
But that's what I'm saying. But he is. But this is what I'm trying to let y'all know. He is one of the top candidates available. So that's what
we're all in agreement.
I know. I just want people to understand, KBN Nation and folks listening, to understand that is the field. Jeff Hafley, the guy on your staff, is probably a top 10 coaching candidate during this cycle of finding a new coach.
Oh, for sure.
And y'all don't want him. So that just lets you know that LaFleur is good to keep because there ain't nobody else out there that you really clamoring for. For now.
John in Milwaukee with no H. You're on the Carbless Talking Text line with KBN.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hey,
up,
good
John?
afternoon.
See, I was telling Strophe, my feelings are ambivalent. On one hand, I agree that getting rid of LaFleur isn't necessarily the best idea because, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. On the other hand, moving forward, you're also stuck with that sense of whatever the Packers accomplish might be in spite of him rather than because of him. And that's not exactly a vote of confidence either,
Well, I feel
You
like
guys have a great
this
day.
is the way the cards are dealt for Ed Policy, right? Like, fortunate or unfortunate, we're going to find out in this next season with Matt LaFleur if he's going to be here for a very long time or a short time. And as Brad has talked about, when you have the players behind you, if he does, and I think there's a decent feel to me that the players like playing for Matt LaFleur.
I agree.
But getting it done with him, knowing that there's a lot on the line, we're going to see if that has any oomph behind it and if they push through where they have not been able to get to over the last 4 years.
And then Matt needs to evolve to some degree to win these big games. He does.
Still want to keep hearing from you because if... Okay. We'll do the trifecta. The third John in Milwaukee. Here
All right.
Carbless Talking Text Line with KBN.
How you guys doing?
Hey, John's third.
Yeah, I got all the guys calling in today. No, I just wanted to ask what you guys thought about bringing a different offensive coordinator, having someone that was actually, involved with the offense a little bit differently and more than Stenovich has been in the past. I feel, I look at like McDaniel, a friend of LaFleur's, where he wouldn't have his loss of pride, giving that play calling up.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably closer to your former point than the latter because Mike McDaniel's still looking for a head coaching job. He might get one just based off of what we had talked about of the quality and who's available and how many jobs are open. I don't think Matt LaFleur is giving up play calling, even if it's someone he's familiar with.
I don't really want him to either. I think he's a really good play caller.
Yeah,
there's not.
I just think Stenovich is fat and happy collecting a check.
Yeah, you need someone that's going to push him more.
Yes, so I agree. I think we're all on the same point here, right? I don't think you necessarily need a play caller as an offensive coordinator, but you need somebody that will challenge him.
It was
with
the
his
Rob
experience.
new ideas. Rob Demovsky saying that's how I liked his phrasing versus Kyle. Push him. I like the new ideas.
Yeah, the new ideas. Rob's a
savvy way to put
he's
that.
much better at what he does than what I do.
Don't sell yourself short.
I mean, Rob is he's that dude. But I really do believe bringing in some young up and coming guy to help with the offense, somebody that's hungry, would do this offense justice and do Matt LaFleur justice.
If his butts are candies and nuts, we could have a party.
See,
you were way off.
I said if and butts were peanuts and nuts, and then I didn't know the rest of them.
Bucks fans, tomorrow is the day. You buy one ticket and ESPN Milwaukee will buy the second one. Nice double down, Kyle. That's right. Grab your buy one, get one tickets for select upcoming home games with seats starting as low as $20. That is tomorrow only. This buy one, get one ticket offer includes games against the NBA champs, Oklahoma City, Dallas and Cooper Flag, Chicago, and more. But hurry, this deal is only tomorrow. Make sure you're listening for details on how you can score the buy one, get one ticket offer to an upcoming Bucks games. We'll have details for tomorrow. And again, as low as $20, you can get a buy one, get one courtesy of ESPN Milwaukee. Whew. If you got thoughts, we'll keep taking on the Carbless Talking text line. Matt LaFleur likely to be back as the head coach per Rob Demovsky. Barring anything changes with that policy and his decision-making. More next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what? You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, things are still backing up around the area. We've got our usual westbound 94 delays from just before 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, eastbound from 84th Street to Hawley Road. Got a couple of issues on the high-rise bridge. Actually, make that on the Home Bridge. 794 southbound at Car Ferry Drive. We have the left lane blocked with a crash. And then on the southbound side, right south of Lincoln Memorial Drive, we have a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder. shoulder might cause a little bit of an issue as far as distractions. Southbound on 43, backing up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Southbound 41, that's going to be backed up from just before Hampton down past Capitol Drive. Northbound on 894, it's a disabled vehicle right now off on the right shoulder. It's just enough to cause a little bit of a hiccup as you're coming out of the Hale interchange. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And check in the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, windy with a low of 13, wind chill of 0 to 5 above. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, snow likely at night, a high of 24. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build your own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Rich Eisen.
The Chicago Bears have got it, man. And exactly what you think about this team, that they can't keep doing it. They can't keep somehow doing it. They didn't take the ball away, which is one of their hallmarks. Jordan Love had 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions. That is a stat line that wins football games, certainly in the playoffs. And as a matter of fact, Josh Allen is the only other quarterback to lose a playoff game with 4 touchdown passes and 0 turnovers. And he did it a divisional round game against the Chiefs. And sure enough, I gotta say it, a guy who looks like the second coming of Mahomes just did it to Love, because this guy can extend a play and make throws off platform like no man other than Mahomes. Rodgers back in the day, and now he's doing it for the Bears. Unreal.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
2026 will be the year for you to be pain-free, and you can do that with my friends at QC Kinetics, located right here in Mequon and Greenfield. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. What does that mean? It means they operate on the cellular level to take away that pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, wherever it hurts. Say goodbye to the long recovery, skip the pain and skip the invasive surgery, and say hello to your best year yet in 2026 with the cellular regenerative treatments that QC Kinetics can offer you. Your free consultation. You owe it to yourself to see what they can do for you, because you'll be amazed what they're able to give you in a pain-free life. This year will be your best year yet with QC Kinetics. Give them a call at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Let's do a really quick Wheel of Strofe on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
It's time for the
Wheel of Stro. Another day, another buckaroonie, and the wheel is greased and repaired.
I'll find the lost screw.
Pegs back in.
So actually, we are missing one, but we've got 9 pegs anyway.
At least it's not a red area that is missed.
I've got 2 things I really want to hit here, so let's hope we don't get any reds and push-ups. I have one sports-related thing, one non-sports-related thing. Here we go.
Just
Time
go.
for the
Wheel of Stro.
What a spin. It's still spinning. It's still spinning.
I told you it's greased. All right, it's green. Means we'll start quickly with Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks get embarrassed by the Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert-less Timberwolves last night, down 31 at halftime. They get booed off the court at halftime. Giannis Antetokounmpo boos back. Here's his quote after the game.
I thrive through adversity. I thrive when people don't believe in me. It doesn't matter if I'm on the road, if I'm at home, if I'm on my family dinner, if I'm at the practice facility against my teammate. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, I've never been a part of something like that before, so it's something new for me.
Did you say family dinner?
I was thinking poor Mariah.
All those kids, all the adversity they're having, I'm trying to feed all the kids.
Poor Mariah. I know Giannis is a wonderful human being, and Mariah, his wife, is wonderful. But I'm telling you, Giannis seems like he doesn't turn it off.
Nope.
You don't believe in me, Mariah? You don't think I can get you pregnant again?
You don't think I can get this child to eat his food?
Yo, no.
It's be stuffed down his throat.
Yeah. Great family, but boy, he doesn't turn it off.
Man, Giannis ain't even faking it anymore, though. He's not trying to play nice anymore. He's not happy being here. You don't do that to a place you're happy.
Yeah, no, he's just frustrated with everything going on.
As he should be. I'd be frustrated.
This team sucks.
He's great. This team's
They would
terrible.
lose every game by 30 if he wasn't here, though.
Do y'all realize?
So be careful what you're booing.
I mean,
100%.
They were missing Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards and were being 30-balled in the first half. It's awful.
Yeah, he came out strong to start the second half, but he wasn't going to be able to overcome the rest of his compadres.
Wheel of Stro. It really is.
They'll make the playoffs, though.
Maybe. They're the 11th seed.
This wheel is $26.
Well, we might need to buy a new one because the screw just flew out again.
Yeah, it's expensive. More expensive than I thought.
All right, we got to talk about this story.
Uh-oh.
This might be the pop culture story I'm the most excited for since the Coldplay
Can I turn my mic off and leave it to you guys?
I haven't heard it.
I love pop culture.
It's the one I'm the most excited for since the Coldplay concert, and I am not exaggerating.
Somebody got caught cheating again?
No, not quite. Well, no, I don't think so. So, have you guys heard about NASA's SpaceX Crew 11?
No.
Is this the one that had to come back because of health issues?
They're coming back a month early because
she's not pregnant.
Because of health issues.
She's pregnant.
Well, we don't know that, but that is the speculation.
Whoa!
So it's 3 male astronauts, 1 female astronaut. They will not disclose what the astronauts' problem is, but they have said it is not life-threatening. There's no long-term concerns, but they decided that it is the best decision to return a month early.
The first space baby.
They've been gone for 5 months.
Oh my goodness!
There has never been a baby made in space before.
Wow.
That we know of.
So this in theory would be, to Kyle's point, the first space baby, and that is the speculation. And honestly, the hope, I feel like, for a lot of people that the woman astronaut got pregnant in space.
That would be
because
awesome.
they've been up there for like 5 or 6 months, but they're returning
take
today.
Off your spacesuit?
Yeah.
Have
you never seen them flowing around? You don't think these folks take off? They got to shower and touch themselves.
I thought they just float around,
clean themselves. No, Brett, you think they're not cleaning themselves up there? I mean, clean themselves. Obviously, if she is pregnant, there was too much touching going on.
Now, this is the first ever
close quarters.
medical evacuation in the history of the ISS, in the International Space Station, which has been open for over 25 years.
How young is this woman?
Let me look into that.
How do you shower?
You guys
in
are so
space?
nosy.
It's just droplets everywhere.
I don't know, Brad.
I mean, they have
like
weird food that they eat. I'm sure they have weird ways to clean.
Just like wet wipes all over the body?
Something. They got something. They definitely have. Trust me.
That spaceship be stinking.
She's 38 years old.
Oh, yeah. She still can get pregnant at 38.
You can say it now, Strofe.
Say what?
Oh, geriatric pregnancy. Was he geriatric too, Stroke?
Yeah, what were the ages of the other guys? Do we know? I guess that doesn't matter.
Guys, we don't know who the baby daddy is. Oh, that's drama.
Well, there's 3 guys, 1 girl. Right? You just said that. There's 4 astronauts. There's 3 guys.
4.
Thomas the Train is in space.
Homer joins us next.
What?
Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Radio legend.
I don't care. I wanted to talk to Brett Musburger. That was for my own personal benefit. I hope other people enjoyed it, but I wish I was Brett Musburger. How about that?
Voice of Marquette basketball.
Joplin to the basket. Oh, wow. Hammer time.
And owner of the most famous catchphrase, at least in this building.
Oh, baby, that's sweet.
It's time for Uncle Homer on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
A dusting of snow last night. That means more salt on the roads. That means salt on your car. Say hello to Tsunami Express Car Wash, who's going to give you that premier car wash that you can only find at Tsunami Express. There's locations all around southeastern Wisconsin, and there more and more are popping up. So there's a convenient location by you. And all those locations with a membership allow you to go there day after day after day, all for one low monthly price. You're going to get that premier car wash, fast lane access, free vacuums, and detailing tools with every visit. I myself am a member, so I go as often as I can, and I always feel like I'm driving a car that I just drove off the lot, inside and out clean, that you can only get at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat with Tsunami Express.
Kyle, Brust Nortman leading you into the Homer Hour, and joining us now is Homer.
Yes.
Rob Demovsky joined us. Made it seem like it's, going to happen. Matt LaFleur back in 2026. Your thoughts?
I would think so, but I'm the only one who thinks the Packers are in a great situation. I make it real clear to him. I'm giving you a 1-year extension, and I'll raise your salary up to that amount. And if you don't want to do that, then you're coaching for us next year. He's got a contract.
Don't you think that'll make it hard for him to attract really good coaches?
No, not at all, because you're working for him. And if he's as hot as some people say he is, which I don't understand.
Oh, he's hot. He's an attractive guy.
Yes, but I mean, as a coach, how can you say he's special? He's nothing for 4 years.
I didn't say he was special.
Well, no, there's no reason to need him.
He's great.
No, he's a very good coach.
No, he isn't.
Homer, at the end of the day, listen, there are almost a quarter of NFL teams are looking for coaches. They're looking for stability. There are so many teams that would just love to have a guy. They love to make the playoffs 6 or 7 years. They would love for that, right? Obviously, this is Lambeau. We believe in the fact that the G means that we're going to win championships.
Coach.
Listen, making the playoffs 6 or 7 years is very different. You can throw your hands up.
Look what he's done the last 4 years.
With Jordan Love. You know how many great quarterbacks retire and then the teams went on to suck after that? He was able to have a great quarterback move on from him and have this team basically not miss a beat.
What do you mean not miss a beat? They missed totally a beat. They're a 7 seed. They barely make the playoffs, and they're not that good. What do you watch? Not to mention a head coach who screws up.
Why do you conveniently ignore the fact that injuries happen to every team? But the injuries the Packers had this season happened to a significant piece, their best pass rusher, their best pass catcher, and
that's why he made so many stupid decisions as he does in important games because of those injured players. That's why we have timeout and then we have a delay of game.
That's terrible.
That's why we use timeouts at the end of the game like we've never played before. How many years do you have to have this team make mistake after mistake? I think he's okay. I'm willing to give him 1 more year because of the group they have.
Yep,
but the idea that he's that he needs all this money in this many years, I sure as hope the Packers aren't that stupid.
No, I'm right there with you. I do believe next season, regardless of what happens, I'm on the Matt LaFleur bandwagon. But if this team goes 1 and done next year and they are healthy, he's got to go. But I still believe that there is an opportunity for this team to do something special with the roster that they have.
Is there anything?
Why do you trust him in the playoffs?
Why do I trust Matt LaFleur? Hell, he's failed a lot in the playoffs. No, he's failed a lot in the playoffs, and I guess I'm just being optimistic and hoping that he can break through. It's the NFL. Things can change just like that. A coach can have a negative record. Oh, they can't win the big game, and next thing you know, they get the monkey off their back. I believe Matt LaFleur has the roster and has the ability, if he changes some pieces on the staff.
But he's not. Again, I want to tell you about that. That's not how humanity works. Okay? He runs his. What he needs is better assistants. That doesn't happen. The people that need the better assistants would get the better assistants. He's not going to get people that are going to change the way he does things. That's how he runs the team.
That is an interesting point because I have been thinking to myself, why is it coming to a point now where it's all right, now that it's at this point, now get better assistants?
This is the guy who's had the special teams coach as his assistant, basically.
Yes.
Right?
He does this all year.
But he's going to get it right this time.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't work
He got it right. He finally got it right with the defensive coordinator. And when I say finally, he inherited the first defensive coordinator, which it wasn't his guy, so he fired him quickly. And then with Joe Barry, he stuck with Joe Barry a little bit too long, and he got it right finally with Jeff Hafley. Now, I just believe that he can get it right because he got him. Stenovich cannot be the offensive coordinator.
Who picked Stanovich?
You said what?
Who picked Stanovich?
He picked Stanovich.
Funny how that worked.
Yeah, he picked Barry, and then he picked Hafley.
Fine. So, how can you have confidence? You might as well flip a coin.
You got to
I got confidence. He's going to bring in good people.
Nobody
challenge him.
We're laughing, but when he brought in Rich Bisaccia, we all applauded Rich Bisaccia.
Yes.
So again, you can't. I can't knock him.
Did anybody applaud how long he's been around?
He didn't correct
the
the
man
problem.
does not hold people to a standard, and we have seen that on the team time and time again with everything. I just want everybody to watch the halftime of the Denver game in which the announcer, the woman said, well, had that little incident before the game. And he goes, yeah, we talked to the team about not being a part of that. I wish I had the mic and say, do they ever listen to you? But we're going to talk about it at half again. Oh, that's the key. He cannot get people, and it's too bad because he's a very good, and he deserves all the credit for developing quarterbacks. But...
And there was something even with that in the Bears game. I mean, he was coming off the field at halftime, and he said, we're doing well because of execution. And she said, how do you not let them come back? And he basically says the same thing. Well, we know what they're capable of. We know they're good. We know if to keep our foot on the gas. And they didn't do any of that in the second half.
I mean, look at Nixon, okay? You need to have him play. Every game he's going to do something stupid. Okay, so do you bring the
third
guy
in defensive penalty?
Third about that.
11 penalties last year, third in the NFL.
Tell me
10
something
in 2024.
Or an individual that is fundamentally changed. Not to mention Golden. We all have a question about that.
Hey, Quay Walker stopped headbutting people.
There you go. Okay, there you go. But like Golden, the only reason he played is because it was a choice between one of us and him. Like they had nobody else. They had no one else.
The way Matthew Golden played in that game is malpractice to that coaching staff.
He just got out. He just got targets. He got targets.
Yes, but I want to be the quarterback if I've got Watson and him in the game at the same time.
The fact that he was not highlighted earlier is absurd.
No, I just want to emphasize. I mean, I'm understating this. It was either between him and the team mascot. I mean, he had no choice not to play him. Who's left? Golden? Anybody else? Golden. Anybody else?
With the first round pick of the 2026 NFL Draft.
So, and I want to emphasize, I'm willing to give him another year. But this
what do you need to see then, though? What does he need to go? How far does he need to go?
I don't know. You'll watch the team and see. They have talent. I would say, when a playoff game is a start.
At least.
But you're going to judge it by the talent. They got some talent, and I don't think he's horrible. So